there's the clip if you want to look at it.
1 second.
God, that's so... Holy Mother Mary.
Holy Mother of Mary.
Yeah. I cannot wait to play Call of Duty this year. It's gonna be so good.
It seems like it's gonna be pretty cold this year in this war.
Should skill-based matchmaking be applied in casual modes of PvP games? No.
Hi, everyone.
No. Hello.
Wait, what's SPM1?
Skill-based matchmaking. So in like Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, and also in Cold War, the better you are, you get matched with better players. So like if I'm like a pro player at the game, I'm getting matched with other pros and I play like pub lobbies and stuff. Because like you can't pub stomp at all.
So how's everyone doing?
Zach, are you gonna be able to? Are you gonna be able to make it round 1?
Oh yeah, no, I'm good to go now.
Okay, sweet.
Sorry, I don't even see 2 people there.
I don't know. Now you
Wearing
understand.
sunglasses? How is
Okay.
it even a game?
Well, that's docked for you.
Yeah, sorry about the delay. My job wanted me to take a delivery like right as I was going out the door. It was about 20 minutes away.
Oh,
You're good. We're still waiting for a couple people to get in.
We're waiting for one more person who's
Okay, cool.
who has.
I thought Noah wasn't playing. 1, 2, 3.
So we have Strawberry, we have Brandon, we have.
Yeah, so we
Tuesday.
need 4 more people because there's only 5 people in the room.
Well, I mean, you mean in the call or in the?
In the call, yeah.
I don't think everyone's planning on in the call because I think Justin just said, "Hey, I want to be in the call. If anyone wants to play anything." I don't think they know that we're supposed to be in the call. Nor have we said this was to be in the call. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and let's get the first pairings. Black Mesa IND has not responded to anything, so I think there's and it's 50 minutes. I think we're gonna drop them.
Okay.
It's only fair, you know. If you want to be in a tournament, you have to show up. Let me switch to not this account.
Let me see participants. Because I know Charlotte said that they were playing. Okay, that's Sigmund Code. Okay, I like it when people put their names. That way we're not.
So, who is Strawberry Roan?
Strawberry Roan is Rylan Williams. Okay.
So that means if Charlotte's playing, she can go up against me first round. Since Black Mesa.
How do I drop a participant?
I can take care of that.
Yeah, wait. I think I figured it out. Yeah. Come on.
Cool.
All right. So everyone. All right.
And worst case scenario, if they're like, "What happened?" We give them the bot.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Let me check. Let me see how your Twitch is doing.
God, why do people ping me all the time? You know what's upsetting? Waking up at like 4 p.m. and then getting having like 90 pings.
Ping.
You're a very pingable guy.
I guess I'm just not popular.
Yeah. So are you just gonna have people? I think what we're gonna do is if you're in the feature match area, which is chess room 1, we're gonna have one of you stream.
No. What we'll do. What we'll do is I'll have you friend me on chess.com and then I will stream your match like that, so that way we don't have to like deal with any like muting mics and stuff.
Okay.
Okay. Can you check my stream is up, Matt, real quick? All right.
I checked it.
All right. Good to know. Should we shuffle the seeds first, or should we just go get into it?
Shuffle seeds sounds good because right now it's in order of people who showed up in the sign up, so I can go ahead and take care of that.
All right. Shuffle them and let me know when you're done, and then I'll announce the pairings.
How do you add people on chess.com? Out of curiosity.
I think you have to go to
messages. So you would. I don't know what Arcaj. What's your name?
Arcaj Javon on chess.
Can you put a link to your account?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. That is seeds shuffled. Do we want to do 3 or 4 rounds?
We'll do 3 rounds first, and then if there's enough interest, we'll do a 4th round. Or a 5th round, who knows?
Okay, so I'll set it so that way we have 4 rounds in case we want to do it.
Alright, I'm adding.
Add friend. Okay, so also add my profile.
All right, very cool. Okay.
So everybody just send yours if you can.
Okay, have
so
you...
we can get people added.
Yeah. Alrighty. So are you guys ready to start?
Sure.
Sure.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Colin just gave me a quick note. He said stream looks great. Everyone else is a little bit quiet, but if Archive is dealing with using voice chat, then that's fine. So yeah, that sounds pretty
All right,
good.
I'm going to post the pairings and events and contests. I'm also going to post which match is getting streamed.
Cool. Archive, I'm gonna press start the timer. Is that cool with you guys?
Yep.
All right. Welcome to the first ever PlayMU chess tournament, everybody. Okay, so yeah, for the people watching at home, Archive, why don't you tell them how this tournament's gonna go down?
All right, we're going to do a Swiss round tournament, and actually, can you lead it? I'm typing on the message.
Sure. So we're gonna do Swiss pairings. Most likely 3 rounds, possibly 4. Swiss means that people are going to be paired up against record. So for example, if you have 1 win and 1 loss, you're also going to get paired up against someone who has 1 win and 1 loss. We're going to do best of 2 format, which means that they're going to play. Each match is going to contain 2 games of chess, each player having a 10-minute chess clock timer, which means every player has 10 minutes before plays, and if they run out of time, they lose the match. If a player wins a game, then they are awarded 1 point. If a player or 2 players draw a game, then they each receive half a point. If a player loses a game, then they are rewarded 0 points. And the player at the very end of the chess tournament who has the most points and/or best tiebreakers, if tiebreakers are involved, will win a special extra glossy foil premium PlayMU roll.
I'm assuming that because it's best of 2, each player plays as both black and white nets.
That is correct.
Yep. Roll the dice to see who goes first, or something. Flip a coin. Do the random thing. However you guys want to decide it.
Yep, and if you guys need any help, please go ahead and DM me, because that way it doesn't interrupt Archive's stream. I can come in and help
Alright.
with whatever you need.
Best of 2. All rounds are best of 2. 10 minutes, right?
I have started adding everybody. I don't know like how you add people back, but
It
someone
should be in your, it'll be in your messages. So you go to, on the left side, there's the big green thing, and then below that, green sign, below that is you.
Okay, that's unread. See, I don't have any in unread. You just haven't added me.
All right, I'm gonna roll a d4 to see who I stream.
Okay, so I need to go to.
And can all of you see your pairings and report your pairings on challenge?
I have not looked at the challenge link. That,
Of course I can. It's going to be posted in.
All right, I'm streaming.
that's the not
Lovely,
Okay, I see it
lovely,
now.
lovely. So, there you go. And then we're going to invent contest.
All right.
people. Me and some people are now friends. I need.
And the round pairings, as Archive just posted, correspond with the chess voice room that you can go in if you'd like. So Tuesday and Brado, you're going to go into chess room 1. Justin and Riley, you're going to go into chess room 2, etc., etc.
Okay, got it. Okay, well I'll head to chess room 1 then. See you there Tuesday.
I'll be in 2.
Please confirm with me when your match starts. Okay. All right. If anyone wants to, Matt, you sure you don't want to cast with me?
I'm mostly going to be doing homework, but I can chill with you.
All right, sure. Let's go into I guess mod chat. Why not?
Sure.
All right. So first matchup is going to be, it's going to be our dear friends Kyle and Charlotte.
Kyle and Charlotte definitely newer players to the chess scene, but I'm here to ready to throw some pawns into some end zones and really just get at her.
I know that Kyle has been practicing. Kyle has watched a bunch of videos, and he says he's retained none of it. So you know what? That's a mood. That's a mood and a half.
That's amazing. I'm definitely excited to see how this goes down.
I think that
I know everybody in Twitch chat's excited to see how this goes down.
one thing that people do is one. I know one beginner trap people fall into is that they'll just memorize a bunch of openings, and they won't really particularly like understand like how to play it and what memorizing openings can only get you so far. So let's see how well Kyle's prepared. I know I've played Charlotte before, so
Arkash, can you up my volume on Discord?
yeah, sure, I can do that. Let's see.
Kyle's asking, what settings do we give room again, by the way?
10 minutes each side. 10 minutes each side. I'm typing up. The timer refund thing. I forget what it's called. Alright, please, before you make your first move, please make sure it's streaming.
Yeah, I know right now you're currently non-spectating, but we do get a nice shout out from taking Red Lobster home tonight. Brought to you by Red Lobster and Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. If you go skateboard down to your local Red Lobster with a mask on, I'm pretty sure they just give you one of those free red suckers to just take home.
Alright. Please also let me know that if you can hear Matt now.
Yes, hello.
I didn't ask him to cast with me just to mute him, you know. Alright, let's see. Connect.
Oh my god, Riley. Oh my god. Looking at Riley's profile picture.
Oh,
there it is.
that's
There it is, chat.
a little terrifying.
Still pretty quiet, apparently.
Still pretty quiet, huh? Alright, that's Desperate Times Call for Desperate Measures. You're at 200. You're at 200.
Heck yeah. What about now, chat? Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now? I can also turn my studio monitor up.
Discord.
Let's see. Desktop audio. Let's try like that. Speak now.
Sure. Hello.
Alright, I think you've gone to I'm gonna turn you back down to 0. Or not 0, 10.
What about what about your desktop volume on OBS?
Yeah, that's what you were. I'm turning you up to 100.
I'm now very loud.
There we go. Should be better now. Alright, well, sorry for that, chat. However, you know, this is really how it is sometimes.
Hello again.
Alright, Kyle, we're waiting on Kyle. Let's see, he's a diamond member. He has a rating of 400. That's a rating.
Still loud, apparently.
Alright, so people are having trouble getting their games to start. That's weird. I'm going to very quickly try challenging someone, see if it works.
Sounds good. Technical difficulties, everybody. I'm gonna try speaking a little lower and softer so that be a little less high energy for this chess tournament.
Don't bother, just keep it default.
Voice. Oh boy, oh boy.
You know, our interest in chess is just so overwhelming that the servers can't handle it.
Yeah, really.
Alright, so Tuesday versus...
I'm gonna try changing out my microphone really quick. Give me 1 second.
Awesome. Zach versus Rylan is happening. Okay. Do, 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 do. All right. So
And I hope
looks like Riley and Justin have the
it's
match
mic
firing.
quality. Oh, we're getting into a game?
There's a lot of gain on Matt's voice.
I just changed my microphone, so hopefully that'll fix it. Wonderful. Okay, great. All right. Loveandchess.com right now. This is great.
All right. So Brandon has said that he's going to be half an hour. At what point do you think we give him a game loss? And what point do you think we just had him
I mean, we can wait to see if everybody's done. I mean, if everyone's done, we can just be like, good. Oh, apparently Kyle and Charlotte, their match is currently going.
Okay. Let's see if we can get on there.
Let's bring the cameras over. Colin says chess.com is the Among Us of chess. It's very accurate.
Spectate, chess.com. I know there's a way to do it. Learn, play, puzzles, connect. Live chess. That's not what I want. More. Friend. There should be a way to do it very easily.
I see friends, so there's friends. Boom. Online now. Remove friend challenge. We could just ask Kyle to screen share and then view it from the Discord,
Yeah,
which
that's
might
fine.
be
If
which
it
might be
doesn't-
easier.
If it doesn't work very soon, I'm going to do that.
Okay.
What is this view?
Do you need? No, it wouldn't make sense to need both the friends. Stats. Oh man. So yeah, while this is going on, I can remind each and every one of you about PlayMU and Steel Series ambassadorship. PlayMU is a Steel Series ambassador, which means we get to do cool stuff for their brand, and their brand gets to do cool stuff for us. They got lots of cool headsets and peripherals like keyboards and mice and mouse pads and all that other kind of fun stuff. So if you would like to get some pretty cool dope gamer gear for your gamer pad, then go on over to steelseries.com/playmu, in which case you'll get thrown, and then you'll let you know that we sent you. And hey, if you want, just because I sent you over, go ahead and when you check out, enter the code PlayMU10, and that'll give you 10% off your whole gosh dang order. And then when that's all said and done, PlayMU will get a 5% kickback. The purchaser, the consumer. That means you can give us some cool prize money to get some prizes and other things going for other tournaments, and maybe even do some shirts and other things and help our esports program along the way. So again, that's steelseries.com/PlayMU and enter the code PlayMU10 at checkout for 10% off your order. Steelseries.com. We can't say we're sponsored by them legally, but they are pretty cool.
Okay, so we're going to very quickly, we're going to hop into Kyle's room. We're going to watch his game. He's deafened himself, so he can't hear us talk.
Cool.
And via OBS, I'm going to go from window capture. Instead of capturing Firefox, we're going to capture this beautiful little thing called Discord. Heck yeah. And we're not going to stream myself on Discord. We're going to stream myself watching this.
Amazing. We all figure it out here, PlayMU, but we get the job done. All right, so Kyle is on black side and Charlotte is on white side. And Arkaj told me earlier that white side has a very large advantage.
White side does have a very large advantage. However, in games like these, it might be less likely to matter because assuming everyone plays perfectly, white can never lose. They can only draw or win. However, we're not quite so not even chess grandmasters are on a level of perfect play. So, And as much as I'd love to sell these matches, we're hardly just grandmasters. So this should be so it's very interesting to see how well the white players are able to use their tempo advantage at the beginning, and how well the black players are going to be able to recompense for that. So as we see, this seems to be an e4 a king's pawn game where both players move their king's pawn up. That's a very classic way to open a game. In chess schools, that's often the beginner opening. Not a beginner opening in the sense that it's like a bad
This is
opening.
going to be a great opportunity. Charlotte can take this bishop on e6 here, which seems pretty appealing to me because I don't think he can get punished.
Yeah. That'll leave. Well, there's a pawn permanently protecting it, which means she doesn't get a fork afterwards. However, I would say at this point, when she's already made such an aggressive play, I'd say the best thing to do is to take the bishop, because if she one big thing in the opening game is that it's really difficult to look back. For example, if you make an aggressive move like that, and Kyle moves his pawn, and she has to move back, she's essentially wasted a turn, moving a piece and moving it back, while Kyle's been able to develop his board even further.
Moving the queen, interesting. Not really unlocking the queen, but moving it up.
Yeah,
Gets a castle right there. And I've always been wondering, how do castles work for a chess literate folks?
Are you talking about the rules or the strategy?
Both, sure.
So rule wise, once you there's a very interesting fork here on the queen, or sorry, pin here on the knight. So rules wise, once you've opened up one of your either queen side or the pawn side, meaning that you have no other pieces on that line but the king and the rook, and you have not moved your king or rook thus far, you get to castle, meaning you get to move your rook up either 2 or 3 spaces, depending on if you're casting queen or pawn side, and move your king to a safer location. So strategy-wise, this is very useful because you can, in the beginning, the king is very vulnerable. Even though he's behind that line of pawns, there is a lot of he's very easy to attack in the beginning and mid game. So putting him in a location like this, it's almost impossible to attack him.
Charlotte toying with the idea of being aggressive here, putting that bishop there, but then deciding to maybe reel it back, maybe pull the punches a little bit. Very hard being on white side and trying to set the pace when all your opponent does essentially get to react to what you do.
We see this initial attack has Charlotte has backed off the initial attack, and now we see Kyle making a counterattack towards the queen side. Or sorry, king side.
Yeah, rook trying to get that rook unlocked. Definitely a bold strategy. This pawn here is a little dangerous on g5 because it can get taken by the pawn. Or there's a lot of interesting trades that can go on.
I do kind of like the pawn there because it is double protected by the knight on f3 and the bishop on e3. Charlotte moving her queen up. That's very interesting. I wouldn't say it's a interesting move as a pejorative way, but she's definitely looks like this is looking a very interesting game.
Yeah, I'm excited already. Some blazing hot here at the PlayMU corner.
I would really like to point out that bishop on a4 prevents Kyle from ever moving that c6 knight, because if he does, that just loses the queen. So that knight, which could be a big threat, is instead very much sort of not quite neutered, I'd say. Interesting play when the capture. That unlocks his rook here. But he's going to opt instead to capture with the knight.
Like a thief in the night, Kyle is locking and unlocking doors all over the place here. It is truly a sight to behold. Thinking about moving this bishop here. No, I don't think there are any great moves for it, honestly.
Yeah, this looks like I think Charlotte's initial attack was perhaps didn't go off too well, but this secondary attack looks like it's starting to put some pressure on Kyle. We see a very interesting pawn move.
Yeah. Both players relatively even on clock, with Charlotte being about 10 seconds ahead of Kyle here. What do you think the move is? What do you think the move is for Charlotte while she's on the clock right now?
Personally, I'm an extremely aggressive player. I like very hyper modern stuff where we sacrifice material for tempo advantage. So I would honestly try and go for try and start trading materials, try and get essentially limit his defensive options as much as possible and start trying to
Yeah, and
start trying to attack that knight or that king there. Start forcing him to make worse and worse plays.
And as you say, trading tempo right here, baiting out the knight so that way, Charlotte has the opportunity to trade her bishop for the queen right here. I mean, I think I take that every single day of the week.
Ooh,
And
yeah.
she doesn't. I don't think she sees it.
Well, the thing is, if he does that immediately, now he loses his queen, or she loses her queen. So
Right, that's true. I wasn't even thinking about that. But now it comes to the interesting position is if Kyle moves the queen all the way up to a4, then
actually, I don't think that's quite true because if you move your bishop there, then king is a check, so then he has force to capture. Then Charlotte can move her queen to safety. So I think that was definitely a miss. I think that's definitely a blunder there.
mhm. Very interesting stuff going on here.
All right, Kyle definitely does not seem to see that this bishop is under huge danger, and he moves a very interesting knight play. That knight is now in danger. That rook is now in danger from Charlotte's knight on h3. So Charlotte has to make the decision whether to take this knight here or to take this queen.
hmm Yeah,
Okay.
I do like it though. As they say in the Blood Bowl, big time players make big time plays, and I think trying to get a little aggressive after Charlotte's been kind of as you said, on the white side, leading the game's tempo. I think Kyle's trying to take a little bit of that control back.
I think as soon as Charlotte notices that, I think she just hasn't noticed that Kyle's queen is right there for the taking. And so if she does take that queen, I think this is a done game.
hmm
It's a little frustrating just watching that just like being in the open. Kyle is now putting his pointer over that queen. But yeah, generally, anytime you have an opportunity to trade like a bishop for a queen, you go for it.
hmm Can confirm. Uh, Maybe offering a trade if saying, "Hey, you go for my queen, I go for your knight here," but then still loses eventually, in the long term by having just an immediate capture there. So
So if you
again, big time players, big time plays.
this is a very interesting game already. Already it's already like in the mid game.
hmm
Yeah, so 10 minutes on the clock. This is sort of more similar to bullet chess than it is to
hmm
traditional chess, where now that like we're on the mid game and we're starting to run a little low on time to think. Already our times are half expired. So
Right. Oh, and
that's
Kyle
interesting.
goes ahead and takes that bishop, makes the move right there.
Yeah, so this is interesting here because if Charlotte cannot capture the queen with the knight because that opens the king up to check.
Oh yeah. And then, oh wow,
So
that's super interesting.
that knight there is
This
yeah, they can't capture this knight there. So basically, even though the knight is technically under danger, it's not because he legally cannot move it. So I
right.
think Kyle has fought his way. Kyle is fighting very hard out of a horrible position. I think it's starting to look like he's in the advantage.
Yeah, like the Pokemon Hitmon top. This game's turning on its head right now.
I mean, it is notable that Charlotte is one minor piece ahead. She has she's up a rook, or sorry, up a knight. So while Kyle does have this tempo advantage, Charlotte is still ahead in material.
Right.
And
Kyle,
so
think
it's up to
about
Kyle to
moving
make
that rook.
to make strong plays that will negate that loss. So there it is. That's an incredible move right there. He has put the king in check, and also is threatening this knight and this rook and this queen. So
hmm
Charlotte must move the king, and then Kyle will have his choice of what piece to take. So that's a very strong move right there.
Yeah, like a buffet over here. It's really starting to get juicy. Kyle about a minute ahead on clock. Still a decent amount of time. Not a whole lot of pieces left in the game, but
It
some
is
very crucial decisions that need to be made.
it is notable, however, that if he captures the that's an interesting. I'm going to argue that was probably the worst play, one of the worst plays, because now that queen is taken, he's in check, and Charlotte is in check again.
hmm
And
Yeah, I think that's
otherwise,
true. Yeah, probably moving it up would have been definitely a little bit better because then the rook would be able to get a schmoove on a little bit.
and if Charlotte wasn't a check, then she could have responded by capturing his queen and making it a trade. But because it's not a trade now, Kyle is ahead in material and he's ahead in tempo.
Mm-hmm.
So this game is starting to look like it's.
Game one's starting to look like a lock. The bishop doesn't really. Kyle's bishop doesn't really look like it. You know, it could just be stuck there for a little bit. Who's to say? But I don't know. It's still like the thing is, Charlotte still has some very good pieces. You know, still has both her rooks, both her knights, and a bishop. Still has definitely a lot of skin in this game. While Kyle only has a queen, which is arguably the most important unit, but queen, two bishops, and a rook. So Charlotte, I would say, is definitely not out.
Okay, so this is so Kyle has a big time advantage, and Charlotte being on the back foot with a time disadvantage is not a great position. However, this game has been very swingy so far, so I'm very.
Yeah, this is very exciting. Kyle thinking about what he's gonna do. Maybe moving that bishop.
I would say at this point it might be he's moved if once he moves that bishop, it might be a strong idea afterwards to try and move that rook to try and get the pieces activated.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, his pieces are very out of position, whereas all of Charlotte's pieces are like right there clustered, ready to defend the king. Kyle's pieces are because of an attack, a very successful attack, I would add. He's not necessarily as ready for an attack. He has to like send a few turns to position his pieces.
Right.
Because his queen right there isn't really doing too much.
I do like this play though. Pressures a lot of the pieces on both the left and right side. Like Kyle can pretty much just do whatever. You know, he can set up to pretty much take whatever piece he wants with this queen, which I really enjoy, and then also get some pretty decent cover with both of his bishops. So I'm digging it. Ooh, big horsey goes nay up into h4, going away from the king.
Let's see. All right.
Ooh,
So that piece that's a very strong move as it threatens.
That is thinking about it. We're thinking about a lot of things here.
Let's see what Twitch chat has to say.
What does Chad have to say? Chad has all the right opinions and is never wrong about anything. Going ahead and taking that pawn over in b2, I like that. I'm really digging that play. Like in the song Thrift Shop. Can't really get countered back. You know, Rook is in risk of getting captured, and okay, that wasn't. Yeah, that was definitely kind of like a throwaway move to force the queen to move. But now,
I think it's part of the. It speaks kind of the psychological element of like having such a fast chess game, though. And in the sense that like you're down on time, you're down on material. You're going to start like you don't have time to think about all your moves, so you're going to have
agreed.
To,
like, I think both players are playing phenomenal right here. I love that knight move to try and like trade the bishop for the queen there. Oh, but here comes Kyle putting Charlotte in check.
Here it comes.
Here he comes.
I've been told I can't be heard on that no one can hear. Someone has just DM'd me that they can't hear me on stream.
They can't hear you on stream. Huh. I have now been mentioned in the PlayMU's server and events and contests. Cool. Oh, we just got a match result from the from there. Let me check from Zach and Ryan here. All right, and getting a report from there, that is going to be Ryan 2-0 against Zach.
Someone, I just asked chat if they can hear us, and they said we're good. Or, well, one person said we're good.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Back in the action. In case you haven't been tuning in, we're currently watching Game 1 of Charlotte versus Kyle, and it's very much neck and neck, almost down to the last minute on chess timers for both players. And we're going tit for tat here. It's looking pretty good. Mm-hmm. I think this is like the furthest this is the furthest the king has ever been in the history of just 3 pieces away from its starting zone. Charlotte putting that brave soldier up on the front lines essentially. And Kyle thinking about putting the bishop there to cover a lot of different motions. I'm digging it. 1 minute left for Charlotte. I don't think there are any wrong moves, but it's just a lot of hard moves to make. Charlotte pushing that pawn forward to try and hopefully retake the queen and maybe turn this game around right quick, but I don't think she's going to be able to get there with that rook now. Kyle and Charlotte now both 1 minute left on the clock. It is quite anyone's game at this point. And the queen is back. The queen's out of the corner. And I'm here for it.
All right, let's see. I'm having the I'm told that I'm quiet, but you are a little louder. So I'm going to adjust I'm going to mix our volume a little bit differently. So
wonderful.
I'm going to try and make sure that, again, both of us can be heard.
Good rook capture, Kyle.
Let's see. This is starting to look like a wrap. However, they are low on time. This could be this game.
Kyle does have less time on the clock than Charlotte. So if Charlotte moves quick and Kyle has to assemble a check, then who knows? And that's check 1 right there. Let's see how Charlotte responds. Right, 20 seconds left for Kyle. That's check again.
Yes, capture. That's definitely the best capture. Now what he can do very quickly is just move the rook and to a way that he can capture. What could happen here is a very quick check with the rook is the best way to do it.
Not necessarily seeing that. Charlotte just gonna play footsies. Very, very quickly. We're getting into it. And I don't think he's going to be able to get it in time.
Just move.
Oh, wow. Charlotte won by 18 seconds on the clock.
Oh, that's gotta be so frustrating for Kyle. Oh my god.
That's frustrating, but a mistake that will not be made again. We're going to saddle up here for game 2. Both players are going to switch sides, so Charlotte is going to be on black this game, and Kyle is going to be opening on white. I loved every second of that game. That was fantastic. It was octane, high adrenaline, high energy, high spirits. I'm getting giddy over here.
I believe that was probably the best game we could have streamed. That was a game of chess.
That was a game. That was a very good game of chess. And guess what?
So how do I switch the thing I'm playing, or which side I'm playing?
You might just have to challenge them to another game and just pick out set custom rules. Set yourself to be white, I believe.
Yep.
Wonderful. That was a very close game. While we have you on the horn, Kyle, while we have you on stream, any thoughts going into game 2?
I should probably make sure I don't give up my rook for free next time.
That's definitely true. How do you feel going in on white side?
I've played this game like 3 times beforehand, so about as good as black.
All right, fair enough. We have you setting up for game 2. If you win, what are you going to do with your fancy new role?
Just vibe.
Just fine.
Just
That's
vibe.
all I can do at this point.
Fair enough. Well, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, I have good word authority that Charlotte has sent a match request and that they should be switching sides.
Hold on, I gotta redo that.
All right, everyone.
You're all good.
How is the audio now? Can you guys hear me and Matt about evenly?
There we go.
All right, looks like the game is underway. Thank you so much for your time, Kyle, and we'll see you on the green.
Yep.
I'm so fun story. A lot of my I have a lot of guitar equipment, right? But my mics that are used to record guitars are very low output because guitars are loud, so they don't work very well with my voice. So I have to do a bunch of like workarounds and stuff.
Right. Oh, is he playing?
Should be. Let's see.
Okay, let me check. I just gave him the good old server deafen for a second.
Have you updated the? Yeah, you have. See, the upside to having such short chess timers is obviously that it takes these games run very quickly, and you get the cool psychological, element of having seeing people like go down at the clock, but it can also lead to very heartbreaking upsets like this.
Yeah.
So this looks like a very strange. I'm very used to queen pawn openings.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like Charlotte has a very unorthodox response to this. This looks like this looks very similar to a Queen's Gambit style opening, which I'm very familiar with. However, I feel like both players aren't necessarily playing with their minds right now. Definitely playing with their hearts, and that's the kind of energy I absolutely appreciate. Unironically, though, I think that's exactly it. I think that Kyle is definitely going to feel a little bit of pressure to play quick now that after losing that game in a heartbreaking way.
I think so. Good position from the knight here. I really like Kyle's knight. Sets up a decent trade. Well, yeah, he's down one. He's down one piece, but I think the trade I think the trade is well set up here. So either Charlotte's gonna retreat this knight and potentially lose it. Oh, is going for the retreat there.
Interesting. So generally in opening principles, and this is just book strategy, doesn't necessarily apply to games like these, but the general accepted strategy is that on openings you're never supposed to move the same piece twice, because that leads to and there it is again, because that leads to, you can see that Kyle's board, all the pieces are very developed. They're developed in a very interesting way. This isn't a very normal looking game. However,
Kyle thinking about that bishop for a second was just like, ooh, maybe you'll want that tiny little pawn on that little deserted island, but then saw the horse in the seas, ready to take it back, and said, no, I don't think so today, Chief. Not for me.
So if you look at just how many of Charlotte's pieces are still on their starting squares compared to Kyle's, that's really the big disadvantage of making those aggressive plays, which cause you to move your knight multiple times.
Yeah, definitely a little flashbang chess we're playing here. Getting a little disoriented. I'm here for it. Yeah, starting to unlock some of those pieces. Trying to definitely get that rook unlocked. Maybe I'm thinking about moving the queen around.
So right now we're this kind of game is called a perk defense, as you can see on this over here on the under the game. This is actually a very new style of opening, new in the sense of chess, because as you might know, chess is a very old game.
Yes.
Only in the 60s was this opening considered to be a playable opening in high level chess. This is it's a very hyper modern game. What hypermodern means is essentially, rather than trying to stake a claim on the center of the game, on the center of the field with pawns, you're instead trying to make very aggressive attacks and undermine the center by flanking.
I see. Definitely, I know a lot of analogies get made to chess. A lot of powerful cinematic moments of war and peace, but not necessarily the movie War and Peace. Use chess as an analogy for strategy. Do you think chess is a very strategic game, Arkash?
I mean, obviously, it is the benchmark of strategy, I think.
Fair enough. I'm liking this rook placement. No really good punish from Kyle here. Not a lot of good places that that guy can go.
So the strategy to this style of game is that white is going to try and exert control of the center, whereas black is trying to undermine it by flanking. And even though Charlotte, I believe, doesn't seem to have a very probably doesn't hasn't read up on book theory, she's doing a very good, intuitively, she's doing a very good job of playing this opening the way a grandmaster is supposed to play, in the sense that you're undermining undermining white's control of the center. Although I will say that very aggressive. This is going to be an incredibly weird game.
Yeah, one horsey going forward all the way to the center on d5, trying to pressure some of those pieces. I mean, I think that knight might stay there for a good bit, but I'm liking it. I'm liking how fast and loose this game is. Like, it's a more conservative game, I think, than last round, but still.
I think this is I think this is fantastic. These have been some very interesting games.
These are some very, very interesting chess matches going on right here. Kyle on the clock, still about 30 seconds ahead of Charlotte. I think trying to consciously keep that time advantage he had pretty much all game until the buzzer at the very end, trying to make sure to keep a sizable time difference. And I think Charlotte also playing a little bit faster this game too.
We should upload those to YouTube, honestly. These would be really good. Playing YouTube.
What was that?
You know, I have PlayMU's a YouTube channel, right? We should probably upload these there because these are really good.
We should. Oh yeah, welcome to the highlight reel.
All right,
welcome to the highlight reel, chat. You could say hi, YouTube, and maybe we'll get it in there. But yeah, chess tournament first annual.
All right, in the chat, who do you guys think is favored? I mean, who do you guys think is going to pull this through?
Oh yeah.
I want your speculations in the chat.
Yeah. A lot of really cool plays that could be done here. I'm really digging it. Maybe some cool trades being offered. Kyle's thing about a lot. This has got to be very, very delicate.
Kyle's I think also Kyle's pride is kind of on the line here because he definitely demonstrated that he knows how to play chess, and I think he definitely outplayed Charles in the last game. He just lost the time, and losing on a technicality like that can be very, very tilting. So I feel like he has psychologically there might be the need for him to prove himself. So it might make some more aggressive plays than he would normally.
Mm-hmm. I know Kyle is he's a very level-headed gentleman and can generally reset very rapidly. So I think he's still got this. I mean, word around the chessboard is they call him the Iceman, and they call him the Iceman for a reason because he stays cool. About 6 minutes left on both players' chess clocks.
So Kyle's d5 pawn is currently, I believe it's free for Charlotte to take. I don't know if she sees it, but she does have a pawn threatening that.
I don't think. I think that queen would be able to immediately respond. Oh, I mean.
Yeah, there it is.
That would be a trade right there. Ooh.
That's exactly what Kyle does not want to see. That could be what costs him the game.
Mm-hmm. I do like a lot of things. I think definitely not out yet. I think definitely as we said last game, we thought Charlotte had a definite lock on it, and then just as time went on, Kyle, he's resourceful. He just sort of snuck into the cracks and was able to see some of the strategies. And if he had about a minute left on that chess clock, he would have been able to put her in mate for sure. So I think that while there's definitely some pressure being exerted here, definitely still is a very good chance that this game, again, like the Pokemon Hitmontop, could get turned on its head.
I think also, right now, I think Kyle has to make a very difficult choice of whether he wants to go on the offensive or the defensive.
Mm-hmm.
Because his attack on the his knight attack seems to has failed. So he can either try and remise and attack again, or he can try and take a more defensive game. And so I think for beginners of chess, playing on the offense can be a little more difficult. So Charlotte might, as the same way Kyle makes mistakes on offense, that leads to a material disadvantage. I think it's now Charlotte's time to show if she can make an offense without losing a material disadvantage. Does that make any sense?
I think that definitely makes sense. Just trying to balance you essentially just want to balance your resources no matter which side of the table you find yourself on. a lot of hard choices. I don't know. I think Kyle's probably gonna have to sacrifice something if he really wants to get a foothold into this game. Maybe have to give up one or two important pieces in order to, break the very steady lock that Charlotte has centered on the middle of the map.
So right now, and this is again classic hypermodern, right? Kyle controls the center, and then Charlotte undermines the center, and then Kyle's lead slips away. That's essentially kind of the basis of hypermodern chess. However, I do think that it is important to note that while Kyle does have a disadvantage here, it's going to be a little more difficult for Charlotte to convert here because Kyle does still kind of have Charlotte is kind of holed up in his Kyle's pieces are very developed and spread across the board, and these rooks, while they're still in the back row, they're very free to move around, and his queen has almost dominant control of the center, whereas Charlotte's queen hasn't moved from the starting place. So this might be a little difficult. I'd say Charlotte is definitely favored. However, this might be a little difficult for her to convert off.
Ooh, I like that move a decent amount. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that is a great pawn move from Kyle. Puts pressure on the rook to move, potentially gets captured. Really a nice foothold in this castle here.
One important thing to know is that when you're behind, when you're ahead, it can be very valuable to trade up on pieces, because as you trade on pieces, then you're just the complexity of the board decreases, and you have more and more. Your opponent has less and less ability to create a comeback with less and less options. So if Charlotte wants, she could start. One strategy could be to start aggressively trading on pieces, and Kyle's going to have to be very careful not to let a single piece, because every single pawn, like those developed pawns up there, those are very important to him getting back into this game.
Exactly. One slip up from the Charlosian, and boom, that's another queen for Kyle. Yeah, for those of you chess noobs, as we like to call them, if you do get a pawn all the way over to the end of the board, then you get to, I believe it's take one of your captured pieces back. If I'm remembering correctly.
You get to promote it to a major piece. So you can have regardless of if it's how many pieces you've captured, you may replace it with any major piece, meaning a knight, a bishop, a rook, or most likely a queen.
Most likely a queen, yeah.
Interesting here.
I'm loving it. No real way. I think Kyle gets a piece here no matter what, right?
Well, let's see.
Because what I'm seeing is if Charlotte goes to, cover on G7, right? Then Kyle over on H6. With because then that's covered by the bishop.
I think I think what can happen here is that Charlotte moves the bishop, then Kyle is able to just capture the rook with his knight, and then while it's still trading a piece, the rook is considered more valuable than the knight, so he might be he'll start decreasing the deficit. In typical chess analysis, interesting.
Oh, this is very, very interesting.
This is a good spot for Kyle.
Galaxy Brain, the Iceman cometh.
Let me rephrase. This is a much better spot for Kyle. I think he'd still prefer to have a few more pieces ahead and not have made some of the moves he made. However, this is if he's made on his comeback, this is very strong because it's going to be difficult for Charlotte to stop these pieces from promoting, and once he does, then the deficit is going to start decreasing. So this game is entirely focused on Kyle's entire game is these two pawns on the 6th row.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's a whole lot that Charlotte can do to answer this, because if she moves the queen pretty much up to take A6, then that's it, that's done, and she doesn't have any good pawns in any position. As Kyle, who's definitely just went Cheeto full blast on the left side to try and move these as close to the edge as possible and just try and be able to break through on that left side. Because if he gets Ooh, interesting. Oh my gosh. Okay, so he gets to put a lot of pressure on if he's able to move either of those pawns up into the back corner, because he can start pressuring checks relentlessly. I like that.
I don't like that move at all. I don't like that move a lot from Kyle. I guess Charlotte made the correct move taking the queen, but I think that was a definite blunder.
I think this is. I don't think he really cares, because I think this is a guaranteed queen here. Like, I don't think there's anything Charlotte can do to stop it.
What could happen here is that Kyle moves his queen to the 8th file, promotes it. Then Charlotte captures on the A8 file with the queen. Kyle captures on A8 with the rook. Check. Then Kyle is forced to move the bishop or the rook there, and he can take a bunch of pieces at once. But I don't think it's still going to win the game, because I think losing that queen was the absolute worst thing that could have happened in this situation. However, that's a very threatening play right there.
That's a threatening play. I don't think Kyle really gives a hoot, if I'm being honest.
I don't think that's true, because even with the queen he gets now, he's still like,
oh right,
yeah, because
then he immediately
captures, and then if Charlotte's smart, she's going to capture the queen, so that way he's protected. And I think that might be lights out for Kyle.
Ooh, yep. Oh wow, devastating. Absolutely devastating. You hate to see it, especially in a very close gambit like this.
All right, Charlotte's going to have to move fast though, otherwise she can find herself in the Kyle situation again, where she loses on time.
I don't know. Hot-blooded Charlotte versus the Iceman Kyle. I think this is definitely some entertaining piece action, piece to piece, play-by-play action going on right here.
Now, honestly, the play I like most from Charlotte is just to capture the A1 rook. Just trade, just like start throwing your pieces away.
Yeah, honestly, she definitely does need to move quickly though. Interesting. I don't think he really cares.
If I was Charlotte, what I would be doing is I have a 12-point lead in terms of material. I would just start like next moving, just like playing as fast as possible, because even if I screw up and lose like a rook here, I'm still an advantage.
Kyle moving that pawn, saying, "Okay, Charlotte, it's your turn. Show me what you got."
So now Charlotte's win entirely depends on how on her psychological play here, on her ability to control the timer and her ability to think on it very quickly. And as long as Charlotte keeps the fort, this won't be an upset. Will she be able to do that? That's what we'll find out.
That's what we'll find out, exactly. Kyle, a full minute ahead on chess clock. Not a whole lot of good moves here. My heart is actually racing. This is intense. This is incredibly intense. I'm loving this. "30 seconds ahead now, Kyle." Alright, finally decides to move that pawn up. What is Charlotte going to respond with? Taking a little bit of time. And that bishop over there. That is I'm loving it. That's a mind game bishop right there. It is getting into Kyle's brain. Getting into the Iceman's veins.
I think that maybe Kyle definitely, I think, takes a little more time to think through his moves through. But I think that might be I think in some cases that might be a bit of a weakness of his, that he maybe is a little too comfortable spending time on the clock,
Oh, very interesting snipe on that rook. I do like just the way that this is set up. Both players with less than a minute on the clock. There's the queen again.
Check.
That's check. Ooh, that was a good spot from Kyle.
All right, now he takes the rook.
Now he gets to take that rook for free. Oh, very close game. Very close game. Check again. Not a whole lot he gets to convert off the. Oh, he gets to take the bishop here. Doesn't see it.
I'm going. Yeah, he doesn't seem to notice. I'm going to be honest. I think Charlotte's going to have a hard time checkmating here because checkmates with the bishop can be very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even necessarily know if she's practiced enough to be able to very quickly make a check on the very quickly convert this position to a checkmate.
Another check. Covering the pieces, moves the king. 15 seconds left for Kyle. Charlotte's just moving stuff. Another check.
Up, Kyle.
Oh,
Kyle.
4
Kyle.
seconds. He's panicking.
You can't second guess yourself like that, Kyle.
Oh, I think he wanted to move it. Oh. Charlotte with the time out again. The queen of the clock takes game 2 versus Kyle. I just got a report from Justin. Their match went 1-1, both players winning one single game. That was absolutely electrifying. That was fantastic.
That was some good chess. That was a joy to watch.
That was good chess. That was good chess right there.
I aim to appease.
Okay. So because all right.
Scores.
All right. So as tournament organizers, there's something we have to. There's I think 2 things we have to discuss very quickly. Do you want to consider making it a 15-minute clock? And 2, Tuesday and Brandon are about to play. Everyone else is finished. Do you want to give Brandon a game loss, or do you want to have one more match?
I mean, I think if him and I think that we leave that up to him and Brandon. I mean, if they want to play it out, then
that we will have to wait for them to finish before round 2 can begin.
Give him the Wensmeyer. I mean, I'm still good to play. Okay.
The moment I lost that queen, it was all over.
How about we give them how about we give him a game loss instead of a match loss, and then tell him to play 1.
Okay, we're gonna jump in like that. I'm gonna jump into chess room 1 then. And can you come with me?
Of course I can. Kyle, thank you so much for the electrifying games. That was a joy to watch.
Kyle is fantastic.
Happy to provide.
All right, we're gonna hop into.
All right.
Hello.
Hi, Brandon. We're gonna be
Yes.
We're gonna give you a so we're gonna stream your match on the second stream match in round 1. However, since
Okay.
you're 45 minutes late, we're gonna give you a game loss. So
Yeah, that's understandable because I mean, freaking Professor emailed me right as we were starting, so
like
understandable.
I'm sorry, man, but yeah.
No, it's cool. Like I don't mind. Like that's my fault. I mean, I should have worked on homework first and got that done before we got here. So okay, so I keep getting errors with chess.com, like not loading.
All right, do you guys want to try using VChess? That's always worked way better for me.
What is VChess? Can you put the link in there?
Oh, lead chess. Okay.
Oh, Lee Chess. Okay, yeah.
Okay, maybe it's down. But... Oh no, I just typed in the wrong thing. That was.
Create a game.
I might run an ad really quick.
I can try to challenge you and see if that pops up.
Yeah,
but...
if you do that, and then I'll just join you, or you can send the.
I sent it through chess.com. I'll see if it pops up for you. Then.
Oh, can you just send it into events and contests, like the link to the game or whatever?
Yes, you can do that on Lee Chess.
Yeah, if you do that, I'll just join through that. It'll probably be a lot easier, anyways.
Yeah, then I'll just get a new account on Lead Chess.
Getting so many emails and stuff, and it's dumb. Goodness gracious, my dogs are annoying.
Okay, so
I've got it all set up, I think.
Okay.
Let's see, how should I create a game? Okay, here, I'll post this in the chat. I'm not sure if that worked.
All right, welcome
Okay.
back from that quick little ad break. If you're still joining us, we are setting up for.
Hi. I'm gonna mute and deafen as well.
all right. We're gonna ask both of you to deafen,
Mm-hmm.
so you can't hear us commentating. And there we
Yeah.
go. And Brandon could. Share your screen.
But yeah, again, welcome back from that short little ad break. If you are just joining us, we are going into game 2 of our match with Brandon, aka Longshots, and Tuesday. After watching that absolute barn burner of a series between Charlotte and Kyle, I'm ready to watch some. I'm ready to see some more chess.
All right, so they've already jumped into it, so I guess we shall do the same.
Wonderful.
All right, so it looks like Brandon is on black.
Currently, you are not showing the game on Twitch.
Oh, really?
Yes, I just see your fancy desktop background.
Let's see. It says it's showing it on Twitch for me, like on my preview.
Let me check.
It might be the stream delay too.
Maybe. Just hit the refresh. No, I do not. Check. Can you see? Can you see the game? I currently cannot.
Play.
No game showing, but there is notable stream delay. Yeah, there is currently no game showing.
Okay. I'm trying to connect on my other end.
Okay, you're trying to do the live chess route instead of the. Oh, there we go. We see Discord.
All right.
Of a series between Charlotte.
Yeah, there's a lot of stream delay. All right. Let's just get into it. Commentary.
There we go.
All right.
There
So,
it is.
you guys missed a lot of interesting stuff already. Sorry about that. So, one thing you'll notice among the different chess players is how they utilize the timer. Brandon and Tuesday seem to be just going at it right now.
Yeah, tit for tat. I believe Tuesday is on white and Brendan is on black. Am I correct?
Yes.
Wonderful. You get to see the light chess or chess light mode if you're watching from home. A lot of very interesting techniques going on here. This is definitely a very different opening than we saw from.
I will.
Yep.
God.
It starts to show up right as you ask if you can see it. Hell yeah! Thank you, Kyle.
Yeah. All right, so right here we have a fork. Brandon has no choice to move his king, and immediately after doing it, Tuesday's going to take his rook.
Wow.
No, this is going to be very brutal very quickly. I can already tell. Yeah. No, there's nothing you can do. I'm going to be honest. I think Brandon has already lost this game unless he makes some superb comeback. I think he's already lost.
I am in agreement with you there. Lots of fancy chess moves. As Bob Seeger says, lots of knight moves going on. I'm absolutely here for it.
All
I
right.
do like the stone sound effect that goes on when they move these chess pieces.
It is quite
like
fun.
you're moving boulders. Oh man. So is there a way for Brandon to come back into this game?
Let's see. He is down both his rooks. I I mean, there's always a chance of a miracle. Maybe there's a brain aneurysm on White's side, but I think this is. I'm sorry. I think this is a done deal.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean, he does have both of his knights, which is a plus. It's definitely, the lining is definitely silver on that Technicolor Dreamcoat, but it's a lining nonetheless. He does kind of get to take that pawn for free, unless are both queens already gone?
Both queens are gone.
Wow, absolutely astonishing. Yeah, he does kind of get to take that pawn for free. Now he's in check, so he doesn't. But
yep, pawn.
Yeah, I mean that's just kind of. That's just that. Yeah, that's just that. That is how it is. How it be.
If
Brandon can get a whole lot of good moves here for Brandon, though.
Brandon can get a good fork, like force Tuesday into a situation where they have to sacrifice a piece.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe do that once or twice.
And is that what a fork is? It's just a scenario where you lodge your piece, essentially. Them just decide between two negative choices.
Yes. So if, for example, if Brandon moved his knight to f7 and that bishop wasn't there, then he'd have to be forced to choose between the two rooks. Can only move one.
Ooh.
All right, so 2 knights versus 2 rooks and a bishop.
And a bishop.
And a few pawns. The pawns are important, obviously.
Mm-hmm. And king can capture units. Is that correct?
Yes, the king can capture.
All right, so that's the one thing that's preventing. Tuesday's rook from going in and capturing that knight and just forcing check.
In the end game, the king can be very useful for shepherding pawns towards promotion.
Mm-hmm. Interesting knight tactics. Brandon making use of every last piece he's got right now. He's only got about 3, 5. He's only got 6 pieces left, but he is making it work. Mm-hmm. Oh, forcing check here. Can't really do a whole lot with that check. Oh no, wait, he can take the bishop.
Yes, he can take the bishop.
Can take that bishop. I don't think he sees it. He's thinking about it. He's got a lot of time to think about this.
Yeah. So like if he's at 6 minutes, right? For example, like this is like where I'm and this point in Charlotte and Kyle's game, they were only like they were at like the 5-second mark, like 5 seconds left to think. So Brandon needs to,
and he sees it. He takes the bishop. Very nice.
That helps.
And they get to take that pawn. Oh my gosh.
I do think
Brandon.
I do think that taking the pawns is important here. That he wants to.
I think so too, because that whole area is very, very open. Now we just kind of have to play footsies against this rook right here. But, oh no, can he take that? Is that checkmate? No, right? He can move that knight. Is that correct? Can he capture with that knight?
He can, yes.
Well, no, I think he should be. Yeah, he should be able to capture with that knight on.
Yeah, he said isn't that GG, but that's not. He can just capture with the knight.
Yeah, he doesn't see it.
Yeah, and then Tuesday.
Yeah, right. No, that's still not game.
So yeah, no, Brandon is back in the game.
There we go. It was the impossible currently made possible. Chess being played on Dreamland.
Yeah, like you showed me wrong. Okay, now here's something very important. Mm-hmm. 2 knights cannot checkmate.
Right.
Brandon is going to have to get one of his pawns promoted, and the fact that Tuesday has 4 pawns and Brandon has 3 is a big decider here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the thing is, Brandon should be able to, just because the way Tuesday's pawns are positioned, he should be able to move one of his knights over and potentially just start knocking them all out and clear a path.
Now, technically, they're even in material because the one rook is worth about 5 points classically, and the 2 knights are worth 3, so that makes up for the pawn disadvantage. But Brandon has to be extremely careful. This is going to be a very skill-tested game, and I think the fact that Brandon can't protect that pawn, might cost him this game here.
Mm-hmm. So if he can't protect that pawn, what should he be doing instead?
Let's see. I think the thing that's going to decide this game right now is the pawns. He has to make sure that he has to absolutely make sure that whoever promotes a pawn first is going to win. So it's going to be a race to the finish line essentially.
Mm-hmm. I do think I still like Tuesday's play here. I'm not sure. Oh no, that's actually a fantastic move. Because either way, he loses a knight.
Yeah, no, that's strong. That's a very strong play.
Ooh. And then immediately gets to put him in check. I don't know. Tuesday may have jumped like Kirby riding a star, jumped back in, and grabbed this game back in his favor, taken one of his knights.
Right now the board is very open too, and the fact that the rook has like such perfect movement, has such a fast movement, is going to be very, because right now he's able to put that pawn in danger immediately, whereas like the knight has to take several moves to get there.
Yeah, I don't think. I'm not sure how Brandon wins here, because he can't, like, all of his other pawns are on the other side of the board, and then he can just spend. Tuesday can spend the entire rest of the game just putting Brandon in check.
Right now, Tuesday moves to h2. Yes, right there. Now he's forced to move the king, and then once he does, the rook is going to be captured.
Yeah. Oh wow. That is devastating, and I think Brandon's saying that's GG right there. I mean. I think he's offering up he doesn't have to offer up the flag, but
I do think
thinking about it.
That mathematically, the only thing he can do now is go for a tie.
Oh, can he not capture the? Oh, right, because that would put him in check.
Yes,
that would put him in checkmate.
Queen moves there. Now check. There's actually technically a faster way he could have done a checkmate here, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but that's just going to be the concede from Brandon.
There was nothing I could do there.
Oh, man, that was such a fun game to watch.
Dude, I came back, too, and then I started pushing up left to try to get my pawn to a queen and screwed everything up. I feel so bad, because I could have won that game.
So that's going to be Brandon. That's going to be Tuesday for Brandon 2-0.
Yeah. GG's. Oh, he's still deafened, I think.
Yeah. Very good games. I think we should maybe take a short break. I definitely need to get a little bit of water up in this. Again, great, fantastic chess matches, and more to come once we go to round 2. So I'm going to go ahead and run that, so stick around and we will be right back.
GG's.
GG's.
GG's. All right, I'll be right back.
All right, everybody. So round 1 is Tuesday for Brandon, 2-0. 1-1 Justin, and 2-0. So let's see if I can log these real quick. Report scores. Tuesday 2-0. Yeah. 2-0. There we go.
Great job.
Matt, do you want to start round 2? And I'm at 7.
I would love to start round 2. Let me go ahead.
All right, let's start us down 7:35, I guess.
Cool. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and screenshot that post in events and contests. All right, we're only gonna do 3 rounds, correct?
Yes, unless there's demand for a 4th.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. events and contests. Boom. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and post round 2.
Wait, I'm gonna put. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, just I think it's just easier to post the things, the images, that way you don't have to format it all in bold, even though it looks nice.
Okay.
But yeah, Arkash, you want to put the standings up on stream so that way people can see how everyone's doing.
Oh yeah. Well, right now I have a Discord. I'm just streaming my Discord, so they can see it right here.
Wonderful.
We have Zach versus Riley. We have Rylan Williams versus J4 Justin. We have Kyle versus Brandon, and we have Tuesday versus Charlotte. All right, so
I'm very excited. I am. If round 1 is any indication of how that's going on, then I am very excited.
all right. Which
Very. Why don't we go? Who's got the double? We should have 2 people who are 2 points, which I think is that would be Tuesday and Charlotte. Do you want to go into room 4 and spectate Tuesday and Charlotte?
Sure.
I think I know. Kyle is just gonna chill and watch for a second.
Okay. Let's see. Kyle, are you going to are you planning on dropping the round, or are you planning on just like taking a break?
We'll find out. All right, I think he forgot you actually have to play a match. That's really funny. Okay. All right, he should be playing good. Kyle, I'm rooting for Kyle. I hope he gets in to win it. But I'm very excited. I'm ready to chess. I'm ready to get into it. All right. Should I use chess.com or continue with live chess? Tuesday, why don't you? I know because we had chess working for.
Let's just do
the Charlotte match.
Let's do light chess. I think that's been a little easier.
Okay, yeah. Literally whatever works.
Whichever you prefer.
We do have to let, since she's not in this voice chat, we do have to let Charlotte know that live chess is going to be used.
And please don't start without
Yeah, give us a hot second to get into the action. Very exciting. How do you create and invite someone on live chat? It's rather confusing.
basically here it's
Let me mute really quick so people don't hear me typing.
Hey.
hello.
Hi, Justin. Justin, I think you are facing. You're facing Ryan Williams, so why don't you just hop into room 3?
Okay.
All right, and Charlotte,
Yeah. All right. Bunch of very, very cool people going on right now.
So, how's everyone doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Lashana Tova to everybody in chat. Happy New Year.
Ooh.
Hello.
Hi, Charlotte.
Hello. Welcome to the feature match area. You are both of our 2-0 of match people. This is the current first place match, so we are very excited to watch you guys duke it out. If one of you wouldn't mind streaming your game in Discord so we can take a little looky-loo, that would be fantastic. It looks like Tuesday just put a link in the gamer thing.
Yes.
Actually, I think we can just watch it from the thing.
Can you watch it from the thing?
Okay.
Yeah. After you join. Yeah, I'm watching it now. I'm gonna. All right. Sweet. I'm going to.
Oh, I think you are. I think you're actually against me as of now.
Oh shit! Oops.
Yeah, I think the first person to click it becomes the.
Oh, it said watch afterwards. It says I'm a spectator room too. Here, just make a move and then we'll see. Yeah, I can't click anything.
Yeah, I can move.
Oh, okay. Oh,
okay, here, give me 1 second before you make a move. I'll do it very quickly.
Okay.
All right, you're good.
Okay.
The timer doesn't start until both of you make your first move. So. All right, so we have I'm going to deafen both of you guys.
Cool. All right. Let me look at this madness.
Okay.
Oh, I can spectate too.
Yep, I'm gonna make my thing full screen.
Amazing. I'm just gonna pop out of chat in case chat wants to talk. Hi, chat.
Okay, so we have a very classic pawn e4 opening. This is like as classic as it gets, pawn e4 pawn. So immediately, Charlotte responds in kind. So generally, what happens here is when the knight is moved here as an aggressive play to threaten this position. As this is a classic opening, so they're both jockeying for control of the center. Charlotte, instead of defending a pawn, however, has gone for a aggressive bishop play, and so Tuesday seems to have just gone, okay, if you want to do that, I'm just going to take your pawn.
Pretty much. And again, this is we have Tuesday here on the white side and Charlotte here on black. Charlotte opting to move her queen exposed, very, very, very out in the open, threatening this knight. The knight can go in and maybe take a pawn on its way out, or it can just try and offer the trade with the other pawn.
Yeah. So this is Charlotte has responded with. So generally, in the beginning, since white has a tempo advantage, white is often attacking the center, and black is defending. Whereas Charlotte's saying, if you're going to attack, I'm going to attack, and Tuesday is very much on the. All right, if you were going to attack, I'm just going to attack harder, and they're just both going at it right now. This is like a very
I am loving this hot-blooded Charlotte
they're
coming out in the gate.
If you ever watch two boxers just slug each other, this is it.
This is Rocky Balboa versus Rocky Balboa kind of chess.
Now this is interesting. Charlotte has not defended her rook here, or not her rook, her bishop here.
So she has not. I think what she thought was, if I move, not only is my bishop safe, but if I move my bishop all the way to on d4, then the queen can just come out and take my bishop there, which isn't a huge trade. And also, Tuesday not opting to take that bishop. I don't think there's any way that Tuesday gets punished for taking that bishop out there.
The only way he gets punished is that now the center is very exposed. So again, that's a very hyper. I don't know what Charlotte really knows what hypermodern is, because I don't know how much she knows. But Charlotte has a very hypermodern style of play. I'm not just saying it for a buzzword. That's really it. She's like aggressive, trying to undermine the center. I would say Tuesday has a very more traditional style of playing.
Yes. Bishop moved to try and threaten pawns on f7, and also probably offer a check there. I don't really think that.
So what?
I think the bishop's more for pressure than anything, and then Charlotte goes and takes the pawn. Is maybe trying to get the queen out to play.
What can happen here is that if the the f7 pawn is a very vulnerable spot. So if Charlotte like takes it with the bishop and then forces the king to move there, then now Charlotte's king is like under a lot of attack. But I think Tuesday strikes me as a very more traditional chess player, and very aggressive flashy plays like that aren't really traditional chess, where you're sacrificing material for tempo. So now Tuesday's up a bishop.
Yeah, and it's looking like a lot of action already. The thing is, oh wow, queen for queen. I'm loving it. Very cool. Queen's already off the map. Pawn's major players in the game, and this pawn threatening this knight's life. Yeah, I think Tuesday doesn't really have a good way to defend this knight other than moving it up or retreating it. And yeah, besides that, the pawn is kind of stuck. Yeah,
oh, fork.
That is definitely
devastating. That's devastating right there.
Problematic. Yeah, there goes the rook right there. That is, ooh, that's some galaxy brain chess move right there. You know.
If you notice, that's the exact same way that Tuesday got Brandon.
You know, it's hot-blooded Charlotte versus the fork-tongued Tuesday. Forking everybody. You know, it's really interesting to see just different people play chess. And honestly, the fact that you can view it in a hot Google Chrome browser with Flash enabled, now that's just what I love to see.
Excuse me, I'm using Firefox.
I'm actually Twitch chess I'm actually using Microsoft Edge. You don't even know.
Microsoft Edge is like next level hipster. You've gone like so hipster that you're using stuff that's subjectively bad.
Yeah, I still ask Jeeves to get to livechess.com. Thank you very much. Good move up from Charlotte here to try and pressure the middle. I mean, while Tuesday definitely has gone on a murder spree, it's definitely had to give up a little bit of the middle for that. So Charlotte can easily take that. Oh, can she just take both bishops here?
Right now, that bishop
no,
is safe because of the pawn.
She'd have to trade rook. Yeah, she'd have to trade rook for pawn, which isn't great.
Rook for pawn is generally trading. You're generally trading down. A rook is more valuable than a pawn. A bishop.
Yeah.
Than a bishop, I meant. I'm wondering if
Charlotte should do. Oh, you can go first. Sorry.
I'm wondering if Tuesday's going to go for a castle here, and attempt to
maybe, but I like this move from Charlotte. Definitely trying to unlock that bishop there, so that way it isn't directly threatened by that knight, or indirectly threatened, rather, because it is definitely kind of stuck.
I would say the position here is a little bit awkward because while Tuesday's definitely winning, there's no easy access to the pawn, or sorry, to the king.
Right. Also, I have it on good authority to know that there is a chess viewing party happening in my apartment right now where 3 people are watching the stream. Ooh. So, hi roomies, hi Jake, how's everybody doing?
All right, so I think what Tuesday's strategy in this situation is to just develop his board a little more, because right now his pieces are, because of some very good attacks, his pieces are a little out of position right now. So I definitely am interested to see how he's going to try and activate those rooks. I'm interested to see how Charlotte's going to try and if Charlotte's going to try and make a counterattack at all. Right now, I'd say Charlotte definitely has control of the center, as much as painful and bloody as that was.
Definitely, Charlotte definitely a few pieces down, but also not out. As this PlayMU chess has already proven, lots of swings and roundabouts.
Okay, so that's interesting. I will concede. I'm not exactly sure what he's going for that move. I trust it because I think Tuesday seems to be a very strong player.
It's just like those kinds of things where, you know, someone does a cool skateboard trick and it's just like, I'm not sure if that's a trick, but he looked confident while he was doing it. Yeah, Tuesday potentially setting up a pawn for bishop trade here. Oh, there's the castle that you mentioned earlier. Just kind of, putting all the ducks in a row.
Interestingly, if Tuesday moves his d2 bishop, what he can do is have an uncovered attack. So if he moves, for example, the d2 bishop to f4, then he's threatening both the rook and he's threatening the knight with the bishop or the rook. Although the rook is captured defended by the pawn, it's still like he's basically developed a piece and made an attack at the same time, which is a very big tempo swing.
Wow. Yeah. That is huge. Both players playing the clock relatively well, not gonna lie.
I think Charlotte's definitely slowed down a little bit and take some time to think. I think Charlotte perhaps can I think where Charlotte most struggles is the opening game. I think she makes some questionable decisions on the opening. But I think when it comes to the mid game struggles, when it comes to like a mid game, I think that's where Charlotte is the best. So we'll see. So while this is going to become a very complex board despite how big of a lead that Tuesday has. So right there's a multiple threats on the d4 square.
That knight that's just been kind of camping there is definitely under duress right now.
Ooh, that's not a good move because now the d6 pawn is just now the d6 rook is just going to get captured.
Yeah, by that rook. Yep, it took some time to look at it, and then there it is, another fork from the Fork Tongue Tuesday.
I think it's a strength though. Like even though it's an obvious move, it just takes a little bit of time to think about it. And all right, let's go for it. All right, I'm trying to think how can Charlotte get out of the situation.
I think one of the things that she can do is she can take that. No, she can't even take that pawn on e4. There's so much that Tuesday locked her out of.
And this is sort of the strength of a classical style. While I said that Charlotte uses a very hypermodern style, I think Tuesday has more of a classic style where we're going to control the center, we're going to take piece by piece, because at the end of the day, even one pawn advantage can win a game. I'm not saying that as like some sort of inspirational throwaway quote. Literally, one pawn of advantage is enough to decide a game of chess.
Right. I think it's going to take Tuesday a little bit of time to piece together this mate, but I think he's got it pretty much locked up for game one. I mean, we did say that, and that was a good cap from Charlotte. We did say that last game, and then he almost let Brandon back into it. So who knows?
I think he did get a little cocky against Brandon, threw away a piece. However, I think what lost Brandon that game is that at that point he didn't see that the route to victory was those pawns, so he let one pawn get taken by the rook, and then the game just unraveled from there.
Yeah, no, it was absolutely brutal, that rook position. Going in here, King avoiding the check right there.
I think it seems like maybe Tuesday's strength as a player, because you've seen him like navigate to very different opponents. Both the somewhat aggressive Brandon and the very hypermodern, unorthodox Charlotte. And he seems to have navigated both situations very well.
Charlotte threatening this b5 knight here with there's easy recourse for that rook to take it, but again, another check, sort of forcing this king in the corner, trying to snipe it out, trying to find the exact angle. As you said, very hard to check with these bishops, but Tuesday's trying to make it work. Charlotte is playing very quickly this game compared to Tuesday, who has a minute left on the clock. So
I think it does speak to, like, for example, excuse me.
Bless you.
At this point of the game, Charlotte doesn't have as many options. Part of what Tuesday's done is restricted all Charlotte's options, so her move is going to become very quick because of that. She doesn't really have too much she can do.
Right. I think Charlotte is definitely, she's clawing, she's making sure. Oh, and this is interesting. She's threatening two important pieces here with the king. And
so here, Charlotte is forced to either capture the bishop, capture the knight.
I love that capture right there. That is huge. That is a huge capture, and I'm so happy that knight got taken. Definitely a huge opening for Charlotte.
Now that bishop to e2 means that now Tuesday can activate this h1 rook. So I feel like this rook is going to come to d1 very quickly, and that might be the end of the game, because if that rook goes to d1, then Charlotte is forced to move the king, and that leaves this bishop exposed. And then
that might be the mate right there. Yeah, Charlotte, no non-pawn pieces remaining.
This bishop locks Charlotte's king from moving away from away from the knights. So let's see how Tuesday can make a checkmate in a minute. This is very doable. However, he's going to have to be like he's going to have to think it through and make the light lines under a very short amount of time.
Tuesday is going to have to work for it.
And that's part of the thing about bullet chess. It gets down to the wire, and even like if you saw Kyle, who had a huge advantage, managed to lose it just through time, and there it is.
And that's the mate right there. Good game one from both players.
It's a very clever checkmate too, because it uses those bishops to their it uses that e5 bishop to its full extent.
Yeah, great game one. Excited to see what happens game two. Very looking forward to see how Charlotte gets to play the white side. Very exciting chess action, kung fu action grip on these chess figures.
So I think what Charlotte needs to do is, I think definitely at the beginning of the game, what happens is that she makes, she plays very aggressively, and I think part of what needs to happen is maybe she needs to slow down a little bit and not let him off. Part of the strategy she uses, even unconsciously, is that she trades a lot of she trades her material advantage for tempo, as in she makes like plays that put her pieces in danger, but they also like give her like they're also very aggressive, and they force the opponent to respond.
Right. I mean, I definitely agree that Charlotte is a hyper aggressive player, and I love it. It's so much fun to see people just go at it and not play. I mean, while it is fun to see the controlling, battle for the center with not a lot of pieces shed at the beginning, seeing just pawns fly off the board at the start of the match just gets me giddy. And it looks like that Tuesday is setting up the other room right here. They're going to switch sides, as we said. So
one thing I think that
I'm absolutely thrilled.
One thing that I think Charlotte might want to consider is in the opening game. I think her opening game is definitely her weakest part. And I think in the opening game she needs to be sure that while I do like the aggressive plays, I think sometimes it can be sort of like she's playing into what Tuesday wants. In the sense that she's letting Tuesday play that like very classic style, just like take a pawn and just use like a small advantage to bleed you dry. I'm pretty familiar with this because I'm a very aggressive player. My best friend, who's a very good chess player, he plays a very similar style to Tuesday, where he just wants to take a small advantage. And all the times I find myself throwing away material and just losing the game for it. Right there, aggressive check.
Oh, is the game already started?
Game's already started.
Oh heck yes, I am into this 30-second checks coming from Charlotte, the hot-blooded gamer, and
If you want,
I am here for it.
you can click on the event and contest link to view with me.
Yes,
by the way.
I'm seeing it now. Charlotte is already threatening this knight and threatening this other bishop here. So now the question is, I think Charlotte uses her knight to capture bishop here instead of, excuse me, letting the instead of taking the pawn for knight trade over there.
I think so too, because leaving that pawn in position where it's protected is very strong, and also having that knight there is it's an aggressive play that has a follow up, you know. And
I like it.
Never mind.
I think that's the correct. That's. I'm not sure if it was the correct play, but it's the play I would have made. And as I am Grand Wizard Chess Champion of the entire galaxy, I think that means a lot.
I just realized that Charlotte's white, so that makes a lot more sense. I was like, wow, Tuesday's gone so aggressive. This is not his style.
Yeah. we made extra sure to make sure that they switch sides. Yeah, not a whole lot of recourse already. I'm really liking this. I'm really liking this hyper aggressive start from Charlotte.
See that?
I think on white side, Charlotte definitely is able to perform better because she is able to set the tempo and not have to play reactively aggressive.
Yes, definitely. It's much easier to just like because I think Charlotte's a very tempo-driven player, and so by having the tempo from the beginning rather than trying to make aggressive plays to get the tempo.
Right. And for the people at home that aren't necessarily familiar with chess terminology or just card game terminology in general, what exactly is tempo in chess?
So usually it's called initiative in chess, but initiative is essentially who is dictating this play. For example, if I'm getting your king in check and like forcing you to make bad moves because of it, I have the initiative. Whereas like if I have made a bad move and now you're threatening multiple pieces, you have the initiative. So there's a so while material is something very tangible, right here you can see Tuesday is up one pawn, and tempo initiative is something very a lot more abstract. It's a big chess debate. Like, to what extent do we want to sacrifice material for initiative?
Right.
I think that Charlotte plays in a very way that she will sacrifice material for initiative. However, she does make very aggressive plays that force her to lose initiative. For example, she moves her knight here, and then she's forced to move it here and here. Now her knight's chased all over the place, and now she's definitely lost initiative, you know?
Exactly, yeah. I really like the positioning from Tuesday as Charlotte tries to unlock her queen there. Protecting her knight with her other knight. Absolute chivalry coming out from Tuesday here, and I am ready to go.
So I'm mostly wondering right now, is Tuesday going to, I guess that's the answer for me, but is Tuesday going to continue on this attack, or are they going to try and develop more of their pieces? And Tuesday emphatically moves the pawn towards the queen.
I mean, I think the only move that Charlotte has here is cap that pawn with that pawn.
Definitely. However, that does now there's a big gaping hole in the pawn line.
Ooh, another. She could just offer the queen trade, right? Oh no, it wouldn't, because then. Oh wow, that knight at e5. If she goes and thinks the queen will trade, that knight. Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no! That knight at e5 is going to absolutely destroy it. Oh beans! Oh wow, honey, I hear the blues are calling. Toss salad and scrambled eggs on Charlotte's face. Absolute hubris coming down here. That's definitely got to sting a lot.
I think Charlotte definitely needed to take a little more time to think that play through.
I mean, that was especially as someone who is a newer chess player, and someone who and definitely respected. It is so much easier to see lines when you're looking at the entire board and not having to physically move your own pieces. So while it's definitely a mistake, I would say it's a forgivable mistake. It's definitely an easy mistake to make.
I do think that part of the thing is about 10-minute bullet chess is it's definitely time is a resource, right? So like as you're thinking about what move you're like, you also have to think like, am I using my time most effectively now, right? Because all the as you saw Kyle, right? Kyle very much takes his time to think about his moves, but then he finds himself like unable to checkmate and lost both games by time. So it's definitely like not only do you have to think about managing your pieces, you have to think about managing your time. And while you think about managing your time, the clock is ticking.
Right. Like the three legendary birds, Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres. It's all about exerting pressure and trying to get your opponent to make moves that they wouldn't normally make.
All right. So right now I see an interesting move. B4 flight to D3, and that gets a fork on these two pieces.
Right. Yeah.
I also see that you see right here, just like this whole the honestly the whole board tells the picture, right? You see all you see all Tuesday's pieces just color over. You see all Charlotte's pieces just huddle up in the center.
Yeah, they are. It is very much a domination of. Tuesday has 3/4 of the board, and Charlotte has the left quarter. Like that is all hers, and it's definitely going to be a second before Tuesday can get in. But the piece advantage, it is huge. It is so big. Where do you get all those pieces? Where did Charlotte's pieces go?
If you look
Charlotte
at this,
getting aggressive here and moving that knight out, I'm not sure that's exactly it.
If you look at him,
snatching it up.
Look at this rook. This rook can't even move. This bishop can't even move.
Yeah, it's
so like
it's
even
a bloodbath here.
Even though Charlotte has his pieces, they're basically locked out of the game for now. So Charlotte needs to find a way to develop her tiny corner of the board, settle. Stabilize.
The only way to save king here is to throw the knight in front of it.
Checkmate.
That's checkmate. Wow. Amazing, blazing fast game here.
What a checkmate.
Only took about 8 minutes. Wow. And I'm getting a report here that Riley got it, I believe, 2-0 on Zach. Wow. Wubsy. I am feeling it. Yeah, that is a confirmed 2-0 from Riley. Another 2-0 all the way on our matchup with Tuesday and Charlotte. Very good chess being played here. Loving it. Absolutely loving it. Arkash, how are you feeling about these games?
I thought they've been great. They've been phenomenal to watch.
Fast and loose bullet chess is what we've been playing here tonight. Fast and loose bullet chess is what we're going to keep seeing. Well, I believe we already know what our final, or no, we don't necessarily know what our final.
Let's maybe hop into another match while we're because that one went very quickly.
Yes, I want to see. I want to see maybe Strawberry Rowan's match, because if Strawberry Rowan wins here, he is definitely going to be facing Tuesday in the finals.
All right, let's see. Hey, are you guys on your first game or second game?
What was that?
Are you guys in your first game or second game?
Huh?
First
game? Second game.
All right, we're gonna
technically third. The first one he won because I did a big bad misclick. I was trying to redo it, but game ended, and he won the second one. But yeah, he's up 1.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Are you guys on chess.com or light chess?
Light chess. Do you want me to screen share?
Yeah, actually, we can just watch it like normally. All right, Matt, to my chat.
To my chat. Can you send me the link so I can put my peepers on this?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you kindly. If you're just tuning in and did not hear that, we're moving into yes, hello.
Hey,
I think that's
Brandon and I got a 1-1 game each. Do we do a tiebreaker or is it just a draw?
Just a draw.
Okay.
So you'll each get 1 point. Again, that was Icy Veins Kyle reporting his match between him and Brandon. That's 1 apiece from them.
All right, I think it's just recording. So I'm just gonna watch over this one while we're waiting for the rounds to finish. Let's see how this went.
Good.
So. Wait, real quick. All right, actually, I think we're almost on round 3.
I think you are just about correct. I mean, this is the last game that we have in round 2 here. Is Justin and Ryan.
Hello.
Hello, 1 second. All right. Read that out to me. 9UA.
Oh my god, we have to hard type it in.
Yeah, I'm gonna hard type it in. Lead chess.
Amazing. For reference, since we did want to ask Justin and the other folks to post the link and distract from their match since they are in time right now. Archive went in, spectated Justin's screen share, and we're now hard typing the link into our web browsers of choice.
All right, here we go.
Can you send it to me, please?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Okay, so here we have a game. That's a complex game. That's a lot of pieces.
Mm-hmm. We are joining in about halfway through on the chess timers. Stuff has hit the fan. It looks from a quick glimpse, and you can correct me on this. It looks about even.
Yeah, black is up a pawn. Here, wait. We can just very quickly go through this.
Mm-hmm. Arkash checking the tapes, making sure the history is correct, but it's looking like a lot of that center control matchup that we were talking about earlier with people fighting for board control rather than material pieces. Definitely a nice change of pace, a nice dichotomy, if you will, from sort of the fast and loose, hyper-modern style that we've seen from our Charlotte games today.
So in this style of game, I think it's going to be very important to keep track of even the small +1. For example, we were still saying oh, Kyle's in the lead even when he's a piece behind, and I think this style of game, even one pawn advantage is going to can decide the game. So this is going to be a very slow, methodical, strategic game, and so with 5 minutes on the clock, we're going to see how
Yeah, we're gonna see how this grindfest plays out. This control matchup here.
Now, I've played Justin exactly once, and I recall that he's very much a he'll play chess more slower and grindier than other people.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely what we've seen with Kyle and Charlotte. Maybe a little more. And
do we have any idea who is playing white and who's playing black?
Unfortunately, I did not snipe that fast enough.
Dang. Let me see if I can find out really quick. Lots of money moves happening right now. Oh boy, I can't get in there and check, but it's looking good. A lot of captures happening right now. A relatively risk-free play from white side. Queen is definitely out and about, while black's queen hasn't moved since the start of the game. Now, this queen probably isn't gonna be able to get very relatively frisky, because pretty much anywhere else they go, if they go to G6, that's a capture right there. If they go diagonal to E6. Whenever I'm about to say anything, I have to look down, look up, number, letter, okay, and then I'm just good.
I guess.
And finally, the queen is out. The queen has awakened, just like the pillarman, and I'm really excited to see this kind of game. A castle coming out from white side, moving that king in, trying to get that other rook out.
This is definitely
this is a lot of unlocks right here.
This, I think, looking at this after seeing the last few games, really speaks to how much of a different play style matters.
Who was white and black? Because I think it's Justin who's streaming watching.
We're watching on live chess.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm watching. I see he's streaming in the Discord. And so it's in there. It's his perspective in there on the white side.
Oh, if you're black, does it put you on bottom?
I don't know, but I'm just seeing it when I look at the preview in the voice chat.
Yeah.
And it's Justin's preview. He's
Did we get a call on who's black, who's white?
We're pretty sure, since white is on the bottom for Justin's stream, we're pretty sure Justin is on white.
Okay. So if I had to come up with a word for this sports state, I'd say stalled.
Yes, I agree.
And I think part of this is like it's very emblematic of how different chess games can be and how much of its personal style, like personal decision making can be. Like when you think of chess, it might seem like a bunch of like optimal moves, right? But just the different players having vastly different styles lends itself to being. It's very interesting seeing how different people play the game so radically different.
Yeah. One thing I tend to enjoy about control kind of matchups, especially in games, is usually it will be positioned for resources, like a lot of footsies, and then as soon as one or two pieces are lost, it's gonna be back to back to back to back.
Definitely, it's like going to be a slow boil followed by a big crash, like a geyser, or a volcano.
Mm-hmm.
I think,
or like it's as soon as, or as I'm sure you can attest to, like playing any fighting game and then just getting one like after playing footsies for a while, you just get one opening and then you just throw out a combo and you
yeah. One thing that's one chess concept I like to illustrate right now is the difference between tactics and strategy. Tactics are essentially like one small, like for example, like if you've seen about Tuesdays like forks, those are small chess tactics. You do like a few moves that lead up to like something big. Whereas strategy is starting from the very beginning. You have like one big like idea of how you're going to move all your pieces towards something. So tactics are like sort of like miniature bite size, where strategy is all encompassing. And so this is a very closed game, meaning it's going to be more strategical. So rather than like one tactic or one flashy move winning the whole game, it's going to be in the same way that I think Charlotte's game is very tactical, like one flashy move and that decides it.
Yeah.
These are going to be like a long slow boils where like one person's strategy is going to defeat the others.
Yeah, and you can see Black is definitely being in this position right here with the opportunity to take this queen. Yeah, Black spent a long time thinking just about how to do that, and that is check, sacrificing the queen for the check here.
That's interesting. No capture on the
Yeah, So where does Justin go from here? He can capture pawn on c6. But then that rook kind of just gets to run through.
What could have happened here is that who's Black? Is that Rylan?
We believe that Black is Ryan.
So what could have happened is he could have captured here up in material, or a little further up in material, but that would have sacrificed the control over the square right here.
Right.
But irregardless, it seems like they're going to try and take that square.
Yeah, I think definitely on that, Ryan had a very clear opportunity to try and take that knight there, moving the bishop to the knight, but I think opted in to instead take the pawn in order to gain control of the center, which I think is a very interesting decision. But loses the bishop there because of it.
We see them, even though the board states are radically different, you see the material advantage is dead even, and that's part of like the style of play. Is like very, I'm not going to say non-committal, but rather than just like making one big, like a lot of small tactical decisions, you're making one overarching strategy that's going to lead to something down the line. Also, I'd like to note there's a very big time discrepancy.
Yeah, there's almost a 2-minute time difference. Justin's got to start playing really, really quick.
And you notice
to really win this game.
The moment that he saw like it went from like 1 minute to 59 seconds, so, oh my god, moved. I don't know if that's necessary. I'm out in their head, but like,
definitely the color change, and I believe there is a sound notifier that says like, "Hey, come on." But now, this is interesting. Definitely Ryan taking his time, making sure to again exert that pressure, and Justin is just going to play, I think, 5-second turns. Almost 5 seconds every single time.
Checkmate.
That's checkmate. Wow.
I think Justin just didn't see that because he was so pressured on time.
Exactly. Great moves from Ryan there. Fantastic stuff. Absolutely fantastic stuff. We're going to go ahead and get match results, and that's going to be the end of our semi-final round of PlayMU Chess. We are going to go ahead and get match results. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to take a short break. We're going to 60-second ad, and when we come back, we will come back with pairings, and then round 3.
Here's the ad. This is the game Transistor. It's really good. I like it. I don't play a lot of games, but the ones I do, I really like. There we go.
Nice.
All right, Ryan 2-0 over
That's confirmed. They DM'd you.
They just said it on what? Oh yeah, events.
Yeah. All right, so I'm pretty sure that's going to be Ryan versus Tuesday on
Brandon has also DM'd me informing he's going to drop.
Brandon's going to drop. That is a damn shame, but understandable. Okay. Strawberry Rowan. All right. Score is submitted. That is going to be our round 3 pairings. And yeah, our feature match is going to be Tuesday versus Strawberry Rowan. Besides that, we have Sundarier, Kyle versus Zach on HBFX. Justin is going to get the bye since Brandon is dropping. And then it's going to be Riley versus Charlotte.
All right.
All right. This is going to be final round. Also, hi Colin on the chat. Sorry, that message didn't get seen, but that is what's going to happen.
All right, can we have some hype for our final match?
I'm hyped. I'm very excited. Tuesday, and we didn't get to see. We've seen a lot of Tuesday.
We have seen a lot.
But we
of Tuesday.
haven't seen a lot of Ryan yet. And I think they have definitely similar play styles, and that's kind of what's caused them to both get the amount of points that they've had. But I am very excited because the way that points have sort of rounded out, right? I'm pretty sure if Tuesday wins here, I think at least one match, and then forces a draw, then Tuesday wins the whole tournament. Because I believe that Tuesday is 1 point ahead currently.
So here are the current standings.
Right.
So tied for first are about
Tuesday. Tied for first.
Yeah, they both have two of their rounds.
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday and Ryan. In third place, Justin, who's had 1 win, 1 tie, 1 loss. But that's including the drop from Brandon.
Right.
So his score isn't particularly accurate.
Mm-hmm.
Riley is at 1 win, 1 tie. Charlotte is at 1 win, 1 loss. Brandon is at 2 losses and a tie. 1 loss being an automatic disqualification, and
right.
1 tie being partial, or 1 loss also being partially because a automatic disqualification.
Right.
Kyle is at 1 loss and a tie, and Zach is at 2 losses.
Okay, I think it's definitely going to be very exciting. All right, I know we have our players getting ready, but again, this is the final match. The outcome of this match here in the feature match area, Ryan versus Tuesday, is going to be crowned champion of the PlayMU's Chess Tournament, and going to get their shiny new role. I am also going to take this chance to go ahead and use the restroom, so I will be right back.
What a tournament! It's been quite the ride, to be honest. I honestly thought it'd be a lot more boring than this, to be honest. I thought, like, oh man, I'm gonna try and make it hype, but it's gonna be watching a bunch of people who don't really know how to play chess. No, this has been like high octane for the whole time. Been very fun to see. Those of you in chat, How are you guys feeling about it? You guys gonna? Oh look, KT Stella wants me to become famous. I'll buy a few followers. It'll be great. So once again, I'm gonna post the standings. Here, let me just save it as an image real quick. Paint, save. All right, image. This image. These are our current standings.
I've been informed that we have a bot in chat.
We do have a bot.
I will go ahead and block them.
Bots are friends, not food.
Spam malicious or bot account. I think this is a bot account. Trying to scam. Next, could you provide more details? Asked if people want to be famous. Block. Cool. And then
all right.
Go ahead. They are reported. They're blocked. Can I ban them? I would like to ban them. Why am I not allowed to ban? You have to go into users? Users in chat. They pop in, pop out. K Stella. Oh boy, you're about to feel my wrath. Psych, they left chat, so I can't ban them. Or I don't know how to ban them.
How do I make
We'll figure it out.
How do I change the color? Yes, the color. There we go.
All right, are we good to? Are we live? Are we ready?
We are live. We are live.
We're ready in the championship match between Tuesday on white and Justin, or sorry, on Ryan on black.
And we have the technology this time.
We have the technology.
We have Tuesday and Tuesday. I mean Tuesday and Ryan. Not rename.
Tuesday and Ryan. Very. Okay. Figured out how to ban him. We figured it out, guys. We figured it out, chat. Woo! Okay. Definitely, again, that more controlled style opening that we are used to seeing from these players. But Ryan able to sneak in an early pawn cap. Sneak in an early pawn stars.
Oh,
really get that marathon started. And yeah, we're off to the races. Both queens pseudo unlocked. However, if Ryan goes to cap this pawn, then it will definitely get taken. So yeah.
There we go. Only took me like a little bit.
Well, what'd you figure out?
We have names or each, so it's Ryan and Tuesday now show.
Oh, for real?
Yep. So it says Ryan on. It says Tuesday under Tuesday's side and Ryan on Ryan's side.
Nice.
Rylan.
Is that some OBS magic?
That's some OBS magic.
Yeah, it is.
All right.
White text in the white background. Love it.
Yeah. It'll turn black eventually. I spent much time digging with it.
Amazing. There we go. Hey-o.
Alright, so in this kind of opening, black has gained a material advantage, whereas white has like more control of the center here. And we have white's pieces are in position where those two pawns, as you might notice, pawns in like this structure, where they're like diagonal of each other, those are strong. Pawns in this structure, just kind of like they're not doing anything for each other. So white has a better pawn structure, whereas black is up a pawn. So we'll see how that all works out. We see 4 knights game right here.
Very solid moves coming out. Early pawn cap here, immediately matched by Ryan's pawn cap. Ryan's still up 1 pawn, all things considered.
I'm not sure how much I like that move, to be honest, because his pawns are no longer protecting each other. He no longer has the same control of the center he did with his pawns. Instead, he's kind of opted towards control with the minor pieces.
Yeah, it definitely opens up. It forces. It can force a check, kind of. Not now that he's moved that piece up, not really, but he does kind of. I don't know. There's a lot of moving parts to this board game.
Yeah, this is hard. This is a lot harder to analyze, to be honest, because here we have a pin. So if he cannot move this knight anymore, because this that'll immediately put him in check. What's very interesting is in this e5 space here, both of them have sort of like are jockeying control with these knights, and both of them, either of them could advance a pawn here, and sort of this is sort of like this space is kind of a no man's land where they're both threatening it, but neither of them have taken it.
Right.
If we see him, depending on how White wants to play, they'll either like you might see them take this piece and sort of try to form like a strong structure here to see. Now we have this queen. I have this queen also taking control of the space. So now Black has this knight and this queen taking control of the space. So White no longer has the same ability to just go up and capture it, take it. He'll do so anyways, threatening that space. So now we've sort of ventured to no man's land. So Black's going to either force to lose tempo or lose initiative by moving the queen, or they're going to have to make something aggressive by capturing here. So here we see queen threatening queen.
Ooh, a nice bishop move coming out from Tuesday. Gonna force that queen to back off and then probably maybe take that knight in the process. Not a lot of good spaces for this queen to move, honestly.
Yeah, that's sort of I think White has a sort of a strong. I think White is now, I think, favored in this game.
Definitely strong arming a little bit.
However, again, with Noma,
yeah, forced to recap that pawn or lose another. Ryan strikes back.
This is very interesting. So okay, White has a lot of good White has a very strong sort of control over the board right now, and Black is like forced to play defense. As you can see, like the queen like running around the board, just being forced to constant move and lose initiative like that. However, they are up in a material, and again, like even like in sorts of games like these, even a small difference can make a huge deal. What really interests me is seeing if this is going to be, if you saw in the last game, I believe it was Ryland versus Justin, we saw a very tactical checkmate where most of the pieces were still on the board, but there was still a checkmate with a rook. I'm interested to see if there's going to be like if this is going to develop to a game where like the board is stripped of pieces, and one side just has a small material advantage that wins, or if it's going to be a very tactical game, like it's going to have a sudden end like that.
I think it's definitely going to be more towards that second option, more of that explosive sort of finish coming out of nowhere as we see Tuesday's queen go up to f6 and start to threaten some of these pawns.
So this is very interesting right here. Right now, you'd think that, oh, man, this knight just captures this queen. But nope, bishop is forked here. And the bishop is protected by this. This is a very intricate layered offense on White's side.
Yeah, this queen actually not only threatening the pawn on e6, but also going ahead to threaten the rook on h8 by going to, as the Harry Potter fans say, dog and alley there.
So yeah, so you see him. Black is trying to get rid of this pesky offense, right? Because like this pin is really hampering them, and so the safest way to do that is with this, because. So now White's forced to make a move here.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna have enough time though, because I think he just captures the. Oh, he doesn't go for the rook capture. Interesting.
Is this a setup for a checkmate? I'm not actually sure off the top of my head.
It probably
is actually, because if he captures here, then they can move right here or here, somewhere in here, and now the queen still moves. So this is like a big threat right here.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just that's just speaking to how like calculated and layered Tuesday's offense is.
Yeah, and that knight's still locked under that bishop on b5. Because normally that knight would be able to go ahead and capture white's queen, but because moving that knight would mean that it would be instant checkmate, that is an illegal move. And and Ryan isn't able to do it.
That's got to be so frustrating, just like having your Ooh, we blocked that potential checkmate, and we also have a new piece that's not pinned down in order to connect. I think that seems like a very good move there. So
I agree, but I don't know. I don't see why the queen wouldn't just cap there. Yeah.
Yeah, never mind.
That's main right there.
See,
boom.
That right there, I was thinking about, is it going to be like a long and grindy game where it's decided by a material advantage, or is it going to be a smothered checkmate? That's
also getting the report. Apparently, Riley and Charlotte's match is done in relatively quick fashion. I will have to check the match results for that. But so now, in order for Tuesday to win the entire tournament, he either has to draw or win. Because if he draws, he will be exactly 1 point ahead, since both players will gain 0.5 points. But if Ryan wins this match, then they will tie, and I don't know what we do in terms of a tiebreaker.
Okay, well, that was a game. That was a game.
Also, giving you the match results. That was Riley conquering Hot Blood Charlotte 2-0.
Okay.
So, folks, we are just waiting for this potentially final game of the night to be played, as Tuesday sits 1 game above Strawberry Rowan. Important to note that Tuesday was on white there and was able to press a lot of that advantage that Arcaj was talking about earlier in the stream. So hopefully we get to see what Ryan does with this white side.
To be honest,
I'm frankly excited.
I slightly misjudged Tuesday's playstyle, because in the same way that alright, so just starting from the beginning, we have e4 opening, e5, that's the classic, knight threatens the pawn here, knight defends the pawn here. This is classic chess game. d3.
Tuesday already making quick work to unlock both knights here, trying to set up an aggressive position. Moves almost mirrored, the only difference being the exposed bishop on Ryan's side. But as you can see, like looking into the Hearthstone card Soul Mirror, it's exactly the same.
Yeah. So it's like, right? White attacks the pawn, black defends it. White defends their pawn, black attacks it. White defends the pawn, black moves over here now.
Solid castle from Ryan here in order to, offer the trade. Say, hey, you want my pawn? I'll take your bishop for it. Why not? Just like the classic barter trade system, and again mirroring with just a full minute behind. Tuesday offers the same castle.
So Tuesday's shown us that he can make all these these aggressive plays and find these sort of complex checkmates and have a very layered offense. Let's see now that it's Ryland's time to attack. I need to flip him.
You go ahead and flip those names.
No, actually,
just in case you were just tuning in, this is game 2 of our set between Ryan and Tuesday, with Tuesday winning game 1 in a very long and drawn out fashion, with still, I believe, 6 minutes left for both players. But here we see again this slower play style from both of just these cool chess guys, and just really getting in there, starting to move their pawns up. A quick fire back from Ryan in order to threaten that bishop. That might be forced to retreat and lock some of those pawns back. And it's exactly what He doesn't want to have to trade a bishop for a pawn here. And yeah, again, like the huge advantage that white side has just from going first and no additional resources given to black side is really huge.
I think that in this case, this game looks a lot more closed in the sense that the center is still dropping control, whereas in the beginning of the last game, the center was basically opened up towards like right as the middle game transition, the beginning transition to the middle game. The center was like wide open. This game still looks very closed. It's a very classical 4-night chess game. Ooh, here we have a that's an interesting play right there.
D4 here, offering the knight for knight trade and potentially going in to take some pawns here.
So part of the strength of this castle here is that otherwise the knight the king would be on this space right here, and that would have been a fork, right? And you saw how bad you saw how strong a pin. You saw how strong the pin was last game, where we the fact that the bishop prevented the knight from moving cost him the entire game. So black in this case has avoided that situation entirely by castling ahead of time.
Right, and the knight for knight trade taken, and Tuesday finally moving that bishop out from its catacomb, out from its hovel, and taking that knight right back. And it's looking to threaten that other knight.
So this knight right here is pinned because it can't move unless if it moves, you sacrifice the rook.
The rook, yep.
This bishop looks like it's going to be forced to retreat. It looks like black is mounting a counterattack right now.
Yeah, not only is that rook pinned, but that queen is also virtually pinned as long as that bishop is there to just block the counterattack on that side.
What can happen here is that this bishop on c8 can move up to here, and now the knight lets it attack the queen with impunity. Yeah, you see it right there.
Yeah. So what I've seen from Tuesday is that he likes to play in a way that locks players out of the game. You can see that bishop move all the way from b5 back, completely lock that bishop out in two directions, and there goes the queen. Oh man, that is such a huge sacrifice that Ryan had to make. You can see, if you look on the right side of the screen, it gives you sort of the estimated point value of each piece, and the queen has such a large weight to the game.
It is worth 9 points. So whereas Rylan only has bishop, which is worth 3 points. So we would say that Tuesday's up 6 points.
Tuesday looking to unlock that rook right there, making sure to try and, as we've seen, utilize those fast-moving pieces like those queens and those rooks to try and just sweep the board and really just kind of gut punch.
This pawn here is very important because it keeps this bishop here, and this bishop just sticking here is very annoying for Rylan.
So I'm not sure if I like this aggressive pawn play. Because now this knight is kind of forced to do something. Yep, and there's the rook. That's going to probably be the rook taken right there, all the way on A1 on the upper right-hand corner of the screen.
Yes. So that's the... So... Tuesday has pinned this rook this entire game, or this entire time, and now that he's forced him to move the rook, forced him to move the knight, it's just him to take now.
Yeah, this is definitely very quickly tumbling out of control for Ryan. I mean, they're both playing some fantastic chess right now, but Tuesday, as we've seen this entire tournament, has just been locking people out of the game and saying, anything you can do, I can chess better.
Tuesday definitely seems to be a very versatile player in the sense that he's very comfortable playing this in a sort of slow game, but he also makes some very strong aggressive plays to pull back into the game.
Very much like the old man that plays chess with himself in the Pixar short. He is ready to do anything and play both sides of the match, and I am here for it. And even though, Tuesday is behind on time by about 30 seconds, generally each round, his moves have just been so decisive. Constantly thinking about what pieces are going to be locked and just how Ryan's going to counter it. Is this just a free pawn take right here?
No, because the knight prop prevents that from being taken.
Right.
So let's see. Right now, this f2 pawn is a very vulnerable spot, because if he can put the queen here, or if he can put like something here to if he can take that piece, then he has that line opened up for him. So
I like this line from Tuesday though.
All right,
threatening the queen. And then immediately going backwards after realizing I can't really defend the queen.
That's the problem, moving your bishop too close to the front too early, because they're having we've seen this a lot of times in this tournament, just moving up one pawn up to stop a bishop moving and forcing them to move back just takes so much initiative from the person who moved the bishop. I think that's definitely been like that strategy of just having a pawn move up has been very strong for people.
Ooh, offering the knight trade for the queen here, saying pretty much asking Tuesday to either take the knight, take the bishop, or just move the queen somewhere different, which I think is something Tuesday might do, because if Tuesday just moves the queen somewhere different, just like that, what does Ryan do?
Well, Ryan can just take this pawn, take this knight right here, and so it's gonna be awkward having these double pawns. But that does open up a line for this bishop or this rook here. It is like a trade. He's trading a 3-point piece form, so he's like clawing back into it. I'd say that is a strong play, but it's not enough yet. It's not just one strong play that's going to get him back. He needs a few.
Yeah, he needs a foothold to climb the aggro crag up here.
Alternatively, if you can make something just happen, you can't checkmate with just a bishop and a knight, unless he gets like smothered in pieces, like he like stumbles upon himself.
Yep, that knight retreating, that knight finally not locked in place after spending so much time in that very spot during the game.
But that kind of means that like this offense that was being launched with this bishop and rook, or bishop and knight, that's kind of over now. Now it's
definitely over. As soon as that queen moved back into place, there was no good moves left for that knight.
Now black is starting to make his counterattack, starting to move his pawn structure up.
Yeah, as soon as Ryan retreated right there, it just allows Tuesday, to go back in. Yeah, that capture has to take place. Well, easy 1-for-1.
Right here, this bishop is pretty exposed.
That is true. Yeah, that pawn grab is just, you feel so bad. Oh boy, that rook coming in from downtown just to hose him. I mean, trying to that knight protection probably the best there.
But the problem is this rook is still right here, right outside this little castle gate.
Yeah, that rook's going to be able to take the pawn on d4 if they want to, or can just take the pawn on on a row. So I mean, well, that's not the most efficient use of the rook. It's definitely just trying to get resources done. Moving up and unlocking the other rook on Tuesday's back row, really just trying to make sure to get a nice foothold on this game.
I like this placement of this this knight here, because it does protect this pawn, which stops this bishop from zooming in, and also stops it from doing something like move here and then forces him to capture here and then capturing here.
Right, yeah. And they're setting up for the capture on a row, trying to get that pawn, trying to minimize the resources, make sure that Ryan does not have anywhere on this aggro crag to scale up.
Yeah, it's just like the game of Charlotte, right? Tuesday has 3 corners, Ryan has 1.
Exactly. Moving up the pawn there. No, really, the thing is, like, that's while it's not a bad move, it's definitely just it's a piece that's most likely going to go anyway because you can't move pawn diagonally. But now he's just kind of you know, letting Tuesday take control. I mean, Tuesday's kind of been in the driver's seat this entire game, even though Ryan started on the white side.
I think Ryan did have some good offensive moments. However, at the end of the day, like once the after you attack and it fails, then you start retreating, and then once Black has initiative, it can get a little out of hand. Unless you're
3 minutes is a long time for Ryan to play the clock, even though he has a full minute up on Tuesday. 3 minutes is a long time.
So now we see like the struggle for this pawn right here, right? There's the bishop here, there's the rook here, there's the knight here.
Pawn moves to there. I was probably thinking move rook to d1 so that way that pawn can't just get taken for free.
I think it's a little scary right now, just seeing like because this bishop is not exposed.
That's true, but I mean, you can't really move that rook up anywhere just because there's a pawn right there, and I don't necessarily agree with that move. Offensive king coming out to play, saying, "Hey king, you dropped this this bishop right here." Do you think he just trades his rook for the knight here?
That's definitely an option. I think while it is trading down, it can be a little what's the phrase? It can be advantageous just to make sure your opponent has no options. Just make sure that you take all your opponent's pieces. I do think that having this like knight be taken here, it does open the king up now. Now see we have this like
can't take the rook there. Oh no, king on the run. The walls are closing in for Ryan. Oh no, this king is on the retreat. Can't move forward because of the rook. Can't move diagonal because of the queen. It's not looking good.
Now, if I think on black, he can just move his knight to his rook to f2 or capture here. Just capture this pawn. Can't capture here. Capture here. And now I think it's checkmate. Yeah.
That's checkmate. That is Tuesday. Choking it out, getting it done, securing the PlayMU Chess Championship.
Well, let's see, because
Tuesday is undefeated, so there's no other player that's undefeated. So I believe Tuesday
having
6 points would definitely give him the win right there. Very solid performance.
Sorry, I need a second.
I'm pretty sure we had to see most of every single Tuesday game, and it was a house. It was a knockout. All right. Look at that go. I know.
All right, we're gonna hop really quickly to the last game going on right now. Oh, oops.
Okay. I'm a dumbass.
All right. 13RHBB.
All right.
All right, read it out to me. 13RHBB. EC. Never mind, got it. All right. This game looks like it's almost done, anyways. But yeah, let's just
Well, let's just hop in for the most likely final game of the tournament before I go get dinner at 9 p.m. Can you just go? Oh, there it is. There's the perfect.
This is no longer Ryland and Tuesday. This is Zach, and it says their names, so I'm not gonna.
It says their names. Zach on. I was confused. Is that Black King all the way at the? Is that Zach's king or is that Kyle's king? That looks like Zach's king, probably.
They've been going on a journey. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Lots of checks happening. Kyle 3 minutes ahead on the clock. Kyle trying to pressure this king, making it move.
So now we see Kyle in the end game with a few more pieces than he normally does.
Exactly, like
Sorry.
Thanos.
Sorry, with
Thanos.
A lot more time than he normally does. Let's see.
Kyle the Iceman trying to get it done. Ooh, Zach might be able to chooses not to. Oh, because the cap there would be lethal, as we say, in town. You know.
Top deck lethal.
Top deck lethal.
Oh, we're a few pieces ahead.
This is a weird position for Kyle now, because this king can actually threaten some pieces. Like, this king can take the rook. I hear Kyle laughing in the next room. I think he realizes what happened. Saying, "Hey king, here I am." Ooh.
Hey king, here I am.
Oh, Arkosh, one of my friends just opened foil showcase Omnath.
Oh, that's sick.
Which looks absolutely gorgeous. Magic the Gathering humor, everybody. And by humor, I mean just good artwork.
Okay, so we have. This is difficult to assess. You know, just walking into it. All right, I believe if white is on this side, which, yeah, it is. This piece is almost supposed to promotion, which is a huge deal. I don't agree with this choice too. Yeah, just I think he just needs to put that pawn over the finish line. I think that's absolutely what has to happen right now.
Agreed. What can happen? What? So is it?
No!
Oh, wow.
What are you doing? Not a queen. There needs to be a queen.
He wants the check, man. He wants the check.
All right. With the rook, with the knight though, he can move this pawn here.
Kyle does have 3 minutes up, so as long as Kyle presses this advantage, just this absolute gargantuan amount of time, 70 turn game that we have going on here.
I think
I'm pretty sure Kyle is gonna be able to time him out.
Okay, I think that's Kyle's this move right there. I think Zach's best move is to move this this rook up to the last file on E, and that way Kyle moves his pawn there. It protects the knight, but then he can't promote it because he'll just scoop it. He'll snipe it.
Yep. Zach's time's running out. 30 seconds left for Zach. Oh, it's looking tight. I don't think Zach. Oh no, I don't know what Zach is doing. All right, there it is.
Kyle has to move his pawn up now.
Yep. Zach back on the clock. Zach on the attack.
All right, now. Oh, that lost the game. That lost the game. Queen. Has to move the king.
Puts him in check.
Now you take the pawn.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can just also
well, then he loses his queen, doesn't he?
No, you can take the other pawn. This pawn right here on A5.
Oh, right. I was thinking.
I think you can checkmate with a queen and a king, but honestly, it's just way faster. Just try and do the double queen rebate.
Kyle has all of the time in the world to take every last piece he needs and get 3 different queens.
No, well, okay. All he needs to I think honestly this game is going to go on by time. I don't think it really matters what Kyle does. I think Zach's going to time out before Kyle.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way unless Zach just keeps clicking to the left.
If Zach goes on the strategy, just click, 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 click. I think Kyle needs to figure out how to assemble a win here, and that requires taking this pawn and promoting his other piece.
Kyle with the icy vein just making Zach sit through it as he calculates his demise. Another check from Kyle.
Whew. Stalemate. Tie.
That's a tie?
Yep.
Oh no!
Kyle made some I'm gonna say some moves maybe he shouldn't have made.
Some questionable decisions, but that's a tie right there. Wow. What a game to draw on.
Let's see. Are there? Oh, that's the first round.
That was their first game?
So I can commentate the second one if you'd like to just
I would very much like to eat dinner. I'm very hungry. Yeah, so that is going to do it for me from the championship corner. I'm gonna go head out. Again, thank you all so much for watching. This has been an absolute blast. Thank you, Arcaj, for being the brains behind most of this chess, for applying the knowledge and also being able to explain it. I really appreciate it.
Thanks so much for commentating with me.
Yeah, of course. I'm glad I was able to make it. Okay, I'm gonna go eat a sandwich. And yeah, thank you to everyone participating. Thank you for Tuesday for being our chess champion. I'm gonna throw the rest over to Arcaj. And yeah, have a great final match, everyone.
Bye, Matt.
Bye.
Oh, we're all here.
Who joined the call?
It's me. I'm grabbing your leg. I'm grabbing the match
hi.
link.
Alright.
Yep, there we go.
There we go. Alright, so it's XTY 9N O 9 lowercase n 1 C1 X. I typed in a 9 as a parentheses. There we go. 404 page not found. Alright, there we go. XTY 9N. Oh, it's an O instead of a 0. There we go. Alright, so from the beginning, E4, E5, center chess. Queen's Gambit, or not Queen Gambit, different opening. Rejected. Yep, here we go. So we have a very offensive start from Zach, pushing into over onto the 5 line here, where it is normally should be black. And we have him move his knight to try and attack this piece right here. And so which Kyle responds by defending with this piece, and followed by immediate attack to the queen. Not even thinking about it, just going for it. So his few options here, that's one of them. That makes it a little more difficult because he can't really just power through because this pawn is right here, protects him. What could happen here is he could try and like make some sort of take this bishop here and try and attack the queen like this, and with this knight protecting the queen. However, I don't think that's a particularly strong move because he can move a pawn again, and now suddenly black has... Alright, so bishop here. I don't see any strong next moves to this bishop, for this this knight here though. I think he probably wants to just make it maybe sit here and chill. Right now I'm going to say I think he's a little too eager to attack. I think he needs to develop his pieces a little more and have like a more control of the center. Right now I'm going to say black is a little favored. Alright, queen up. That does some interesting things. First off, that. Second off, while normally this bishop will be trapped, right now it has a decent line here. So perhaps we could see this pawn move up and try and attempt to attack on this queen. Maybe force a trade on the queens. We could also see maybe this bishop move up here and force this knight out if he doesn't want to move one of his pawns. Bishop here. We have a lot of attacks on the light squares, like colored squares. This is interesting because this bishop, this bishop can open up a line right here where he attacks with the knight and then puts him in check. But I think Kyle preemptively sees this and moves this knight here. meaning that he can no longer attack the square with impunity because this knight is going to capture. And if this knight captures, capture. So with that effort stymied, I do think it's important to note that he still has this bishop protecting this knight here. So while having a double attack on the square is useful, and alright, he's going to go for it. So what happens here is most likely Kyle will capture here, trading pieces. Then Zach can choose whether or not he wants to trade knights here. If he does choose to trade knights, though, his offense is basically over. Alright, trade knights, capture. Alright, so is Zach going to castle here and maybe try and start working on a defense? Or is he going to try and continue with attack? Zach isn't a very aggressive player from what I seem to see. Okay, pawn up. That's an interesting move because it both shuts off the some lines from on Kyle's end, and it also it does make his castle a little worse though. Right now, Kyle's light color bishop is kind of stuck. This black color bishop is kind of stuck. Both knights are stuck. Whereas Zach does have a very open line here of this bishop. I would recommend he's going to try and develop this knight. There aren't too many good moves for it. It can move maybe right here. That cuts off his bishop. What he can try to do maybe is move his queen here, and that'll force an attack here. Otherwise, I would say while Kyle is ahead, I think Zach's position is a little more structured. That's an interesting move here. It sets up, this check here, which you can't really do too much about. It stops Prince of Castle and also like weakens his pawn structure here. Now, what's the follow-up? He can't move here because this knight protects it, and this bishop is here. So, but I guess just having this knight here, perhaps he can also try moving this queen to try and there's a castle to be protected by this knight. So let's see, what does a castle change? It does activate this rook lever slightly because it has a much easier line. Here's that, right here. So he can't move here. I think this is a winning position for Kyle now because he has this he has kind of like this king can only move in one direction here, and only has like two possible moves. Also, this knight here can move around and further frustrate him. So so we have this bishop here. What that allows is that he can move this knight here now, and that puts us in check, like that. And if he starts to capture, then he can capture back. What I think Kyle might want to do is maybe try using adding the queen to his offense, like maybe like moving the queen here-ish, or maybe even like up here. Zach does have some pieces located, like for example this pawn right here, and these two pawns here are very, very much protecting him, and this bishop right here cuts off his queen very effectively. Kyle moves the queen here, which reinforces this lines. Capture. Now this pawn is vulnerable though, so I don't necessarily think that was the wisest move because he can just capture here, which you will. Yeah, this is a little difficult now because he doesn't have this pawn structure that was protecting him. So let's see, how is he going to try and meet the situation? Because this pawn here, the fact that the queen is protecting it is very useful. However, that kind of pins the queen down because as soon as the queen moves somewhere, it's not going to be protecting this pawn anymore. And And once this pawn is here, then it's going to be very hard for Zach to mount our defense. Alright, so this square for the knight is more important than ever, because that forces a fork right here. He just needs to find a way to get rid of this bishop. Okay, so queen there. Trying to think. Okay, this is interesting. This is interesting here. This knight here is going to move here now, most likely, and that's going to offer a pin here. It's going to put him in check, and he can't. If he tries to capture, he can't because this is still in check because of this the queen right there. Because if he tries to go move here, capture here, the queen is still in check, so he can't do that. I think this might be difficult for Zach to mount to counterattack. What could be interesting too is a move like this, moves here, and then if Zach captures here, then he can move here, and then he's pinned again, like that. What else is going on here? Alright, so he moves there preemptively. Or no, moves the they're attacking the rook. Does he care though? I think he can just move there, and then he can't move the move anyways. So I think Zach's looking for out. Zach's looking for a way, because I think Zach feels right now Zach's getting a little smothered, so he wants to be a little uncomfortable in defense. He wants to try and make an offensive move to try and. So let's see how Kyle responds to this. He can choose to try to ignore it. He can try and move around it, but now Zach has the initiative. So let's see what he does with it. Moves his pawn forward. Okay. With the new position, the way the board is laid out, that pawn isn't doing as much as it was. That opens up this queen, and also attacks the rook. So, okay, moves the rook up. Is he going to try and just gun for it with a pawn? Or is he going to try and somehow protect the mob? Unfortunately, can't do an easy move. Check again. This might be a complete turnaround, actually, depending on how Kyle responds. Zach might be able to steal this game right here. Moves there. I don't know if that's so wise, because this bishop here can just capture. So I think that bishop is very important for Zach's counter offense. I think Kyle has to come up with something, or Zach has to come up with something very clever very quickly. Otherwise, he's going to otherwise this plan with the this plan gets even better out, because this knight here can attack and counter and threaten all three pieces here. So yeah, I think if Kyle sees the correct move here, it's game over. Yes, that was it. That was it. Now, Zach has to, yeah, no, it's checkmate, checkmate, checkmate. Kyle is checkmate right here if he figures out the right move. The move is move the bishop here. Then he's in check here. Can't move here. Can't move here. And can't capture because... No! He missed it. He didn't even capture the queen. Okay, okay. How is Zach going to respond? Let's see. All right, Kyle. Do you see checkmate? Do you see the checkmate? All right. Well, I think that move. He definitely has the still has the advantage. He definitely still has the advantage. However, he's lost the up. Easy checkmate right there. Check. And then I think you just capture here. Okay. Pawn up forward. What a move that Kyle has right now is he can move his queen up here. That puts the king in check, so he has to move out of the way. Can't move here. Has to move outside this line. And then he just skewers the rook. Let's see if Kyle figures that one out. I guess worst possible scenario is that Kyle causes another stalemate. Check. I think he has to move. I think the knight has to he has to move either here or here. But that's still not enough because now if he moves this, he can just move here, and now his queen is in the thread of the rook. There we go, checkmate. Nice one.
That was fun.
All right.
All right, Kyle.
Yeehaw.
I would like to apologize to stream for that terrible game.
Same.
Kyle, wait, right here.
What's up?
I'm gonna post in voice chat, I guess.
All right.
Zach and Kyle already know this, but watching them play makes me angry.
Right here, if you moved your rook up to if you move your rook up to D1, you have checkmate.
Yeah, because the knight would have been covering its move space, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's like, it's the sort of thing where I don't know.
No, it's okay.
I get what you're saying. I just tend to get, like, when I see a strategy in a different spot, I kind of just zone in on that and don't even consider alternatives, which I definitely need to work on. But that'll be a practice for another time. It was fun nonetheless.
Poggers, I got second place.
Alright, let me, here we are.
Alright, well, for the stream, here are the final results. I'm going to capture... Yep, here are the final results. We have Tuesday in the lead, undefeated. Second up, we have Riled Up, aka Riley, aka Forsatir, who is 2 wins, 1 tie. Strawberry Run, 2 wins, 1 loss. And our top 3. So big round of applause to Tuesday, Riley, and Strawberry, who's also named Rylan.
Oh, did it not count my my win for that?